zone. He's got Simpkins caught in for the touchdown. Deshaun Simpkins with the snag.
Looking up to Sims Marshall. Home run down for Jalen Marshall. He's got a touchdown.
And we bid you welcome to 2022. Along with Uncle Kev, Archer's uncle, Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us tonight for opening night on Chatterbox Plus. And we did say it's a welcome to 2022 partner. We had a fun one in 2021. A lot to think back on and just a lot that we saw a year ago. We're just hoping for an encore here in 2022.
We were talking about before we got on the air here about just all the excitement that we saw, all the big plays, the interception returns. I mean, I think we had either a punt return or a kick return in almost every game we did. So, hey, I hope 2022 matches up to that level of excitement for us.
Well, it sure did seem like it. I mean, between kickoff returns, punt returns, block kicks for scores, fumbles, pick sixes. I think last year was a cornucopia of offense that didn't come from the offense.
I know, and that was what made it so exciting. Made every game so exciting was that you didn't quite know what was coming down the field, and it was action packed, especially that last game we ended up doing Lakota West with Moeller. I mean, that was just a thriller from start to finish.
Well, and let's turn back the clock to 2021. A year ago, Kev, you and I had our fair share of blowouts and running clocks. But we had the game of all games to end the season. I
mean, what a fantastic game that was. I mean, that was just a true hard-nosed football game, really from start to finish. You saw a Lakota West team and a Moeller team that just went at it for the entire game. And, obviously unfortunate the way the Lakota West played Lakota West ended the season because, I mean, my goodness, what a fantastic team that was. You and I got to see him probably 9 times last year. But also fantastic for Moeller getting back into the state semifinals, carrying on that Moeller tradition. But, hey, man, I'm excited about this one we got in front of us here tonight. I think that might live up to that excitement, I hope.
Well, we hope so, too. And, in fact, in thinking about this and just thinking about this game here as we go forward into 2022, it's 2 non-conference teams, obviously, but both played very, very well a year ago. Centerville a year ago, 8-4, made it to the second round of the playoffs. They were third in the Greater Western Ohio Conference at 5-2. They had a lot to smile about after not having a winning season since 2017. On the other side, Lakota East at 7-4 a season ago got off to a very hot start, ran into some trouble towards the end of the season, finished the conference year at 6-2, finished in third place. It was a good showing for Rick Haynes' crew.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to see them, I think, week 2 or 3 against Middletown here, and they played very well. But you're right, they ran into some issues later on in the season. Hopefully that doesn't translate over to this year for them.
Ready now, let's go ahead and get you started with the lineups here tonight for both teams. Let's go with Centerville first on offense. At 8-4 a year ago, 5-2 in the Chihuahua. Their head coach is Brent Ullery in his 6th year at 28-24. The quarterback is Drake Wells at 6'1", 192 pounds, a junior. Emable Wakilongo, and that's a mouthful at running back here tonight. We'll get the start. Nick Bruder, Quentin Robinson, and Sean Cole round out the receiving core with Bryce Cogill as the tight end. The left tackle is Jackson Myers. The left guard is James Osley. The center, Taylor Berner. The right guard, A.J. Abode. And the right tackle is Grant Wilder. Defensively for Lakota East, the Thunderhawks at 7-4 a season ago. 6-2 in the GMC, a third-place finish in the conference. Rick Haynes in his 11th year at 58-43, his record. Defensively tonight, to start things off for Lakota East, the defensive tackles are L.J. Robinson and Aiden C. Reveld. Wyatt Pleasant is the nose guard. The outside linebackers are Ethan Evans and Harry Clute. The inside backers, Jake Reisner and Cohen Reap. The corners are Noah Troutman and Draven Files. The strong safety is Stephen Embry, and the free safety is Justin Green. On the other side, we'll give you now the offense for Lakota East. Their quarterback is Aiden Troutman at 6 foot tall, 198 pounds, a senior. The fullback is Eric Davis. The running backs, Bryce Taylor and Nick Miller. The split end, Andy Vogelman. And Noah Roush will get the start at tight end. The left tackle is the 4-star prospect going to Ohio State, Austin Seereveld. His brother, Aiden Seereveld, plays left guard. The center is Harry Clute. The right guard is Nick Frisch, and the right tackle is Eric Popp. Defensively for Centerville, the defensive ends in a 3-man front, Lucas Smith and Mason Keeley. The nose guard is Cameron Gay. 4 linebackers, Reggie Powers, Jacob Mullinger, Joseph Jean-Louis, and Matt Karpinski. The defensive backs, Emmanuel Dang, Nick Bruder, Ross Kopic, and Seth Alejandrino. Partner, it's a mouthful, and because it is a mouthful, I'm going to give myself a break and ask you for your all-important keys to the ball game as we zero in with Zilch.
Absolutely. You know, for Lakota West, or Lakota East, excuse me, you know, their one big returning starter on offense is Eric Davis, and I really think it's going to be key to get him in space. They run a wing T style to offense, you know, and that's between the tackles. I really think if you use his athletic ability, get him on the edges, whether that's little dump passes, whatever that looks like, I think that'll be key for Lakota East. Win the line of scrimmage. That's going to be huge for Lakota East. They have some new guys up front. We all know Centerville always comes tough with a very tough defensive line in front, so they have to win the line of scrimmage if they want to have a chance. And then you got to manage penalties mistake. It's week 1, okay? It's going to happen. We know that, so expect to have those mistakes and then figure out how to manage those throughout the game. For Centerville, start fast. This is not a team, you know, Centerville, you know, last year looking at some of their games, they kind of, you know, didn't get off to the hottest starts. They finished really strong in games. I think tonight you got to start fast. Lakota East is one of those teams that you let them hang around too long, they're going to get you. And then, you know, play Centerville football. We all know the tradition. We know the history. You know, they are one of the true, I think, powerhouse teams in the Dayton area, really in Southwest Ohio. You know, play that type of football that they've been doing. And then, honestly, it's the same. My last key is the same one for Lakota East. Manage mistakes, manage penalties. We know they're going to happen. It's week 1. It's a little bit of a Pandora's box. You don't quite know what's going on. You have a first-year starting quarterback that is taking over for a 4-year starter for Centerville, so that's a key right there. You have a new quarterback for Lakota East. So, again, you're just going to have to manage through those mistakes. It's week 1, man.
Brand new quarterbacks who replace multi-year starters, in fact. TJ Kathman had started for 3 years here at Lakota East. On the other side, Chase Harrison for Centerville had been a 4-year starter at quarterback, and Drake Wells has a big, large shoes to have to go and try and fill up. I want to get back to one of your key points here tonight, partner, and that to limit turnovers. And it's like in baseball, and we just came off of baseball season, you and I, back in the spring, in that when you think about mistakes, usually that's a walk to a leadoff hitter because that turns into danger big time for the defense. You feel like that's the case here as we see the emergence of the Centerville Elks.
Well, you're 100% right, Jeff. I mean, you know, manage your mistakes. You know they're going to happen. I always prepared my teams, hey, you know, we're going to have those mistakes. How do we react to them? How do we come out of them? It's a mental thing as well. You know, you can't get too low. Manage your emotions, manage everything that goes through, and, you know, here come the Lakota East Thunderhawks right here, man. The 2022 season's ready right here, Jeff. Ready to rock and roll, man.
It'll be a protracted start tonight as we are expected to get underway right at 7 o'clock. We're about a minute till here at this point. Some other housekeeping to clean up on. Tonight's referee is Mark Kling. Dan Hill's the umpire. The line judge is Ben Levin. Bob Kruhopt is the linesman, and the back judge is Doug Rocker. Game time temperature is 83 degrees, humidity at 48%, the wind at southeast at about 6 miles an hour, though you and I are getting a pretty fierce breeze into the press box, which is welcome for us. And right now, you and I had the sun in our face about an hour ago. We've got a decidedly overcast sky here to punctuate things on this Friday night.
Probably means a nice little sunset we're going to have here in a couple minutes, man. But, I mean, what a great night. The crowd is filled. Even the Centerville fans have showed up, drove down I-75 for this one here tonight. I mean, it's just, I love this. You know, this is football's back. High school football. There's no better place in the country, I think, to watch high school football than Southwest Ohio. And here we are, man.
Tonight's game is powered by Miami University Regionals. They're now accepting applications for spring and fall 2023 classes with over 30 majors offered in person and online. You can design a schedule that fits your needs and start earning your Miami degree, conveniently located in Hamilton, Middletown, Westchester, and online. Learn more at miamioh.edu/regionals. Kev, it's finally here.
Here we are, man. I mean, I tell you what, it's been 9 months I've been waiting for this. You know, I'm a purebred football guy. I know you're football, baseball, basketball, all over the place, but I tell you what, it's been 9 long months for me, and here we go. I'm ready for this.
Centerville will kick off. They'll kick to the north end, and that's the side of the ball that Lakota East will defend, and we're looking to see who the deep return men are. 9 and 19. Draven Files, a defensive back, and Andy Vogelman, the starting split end, are out of their 10-yard line. The kicker is Jackson Corville, and he's got quite a big leg. We'll tell you more about it as this game progresses. Centerville clad, as you see, in the visiting white uniforms with the gold numerals and the black trim. It's the black unis tonight with the white trim and numerals for Lakota East. Again, we've been waiting since last November to get this one underway, and here we are in August 2022. Corville approaches the ball, and away we go here in Liberty Township, into the end zone and out of it, touchback. And we did tell you about the strong leg.
I mean, my goodness, you saw it right there. That was easily 8 to 9 yards deep into the end zone. I mean, when you got a kicker that can do that, Jeff, I mean, that is just money. I mean, you can't – that is so key especially for your defense, and honestly, it saves your guys too. You know, from having to go down there, hit people, you know, it saves some injuries when you got a kicker that can do that. It is so key.
Drake Wells is the quarterback. He backed up. Oh, beg your pardon, we're on the other side. It's Aiden Troutman who backed up T.J. Kathman for last year. He was 1 of 8 passing in a couple of games in mop-up duty. Threw for 20 yards, threw 2 picks. So with a full off-season of starting practice as he motions a man, and the end around and up the middle, and a good start. Bryce Taylor, one of the starting wingbacks, gets the carry.
Yeah, just a simple, really kind of counter play there. It's actually good motion in the backfield on that play. And really, you know, I think they kind of went away from Eric Davis. I'm sure that's where Centerville was going to key in on the first play. You know, why not? That's the one guy that returns for Lakota East that had a lot. But, you know, an interesting play call there, going counter, trying to get that Centerville defense just thinking about that backside early on, which is, you know, they're just trying to some things here early on in the game for Lakota East.
Andy Vogelman's a split end to the bottom of your screen, 2nd and 6. And they go full house in the backfield behind the quarterback. And the quick hitter, Eric Davis, gets his first touch of the year for a couple to bring up 3rd and short.
Just chunking away those yards. You know, now you're into a 3rd and 1 situation. That's exactly, or a 3rd and medium situation. That's exactly what this offense is designed to do. Get you into a 3rd and manageable spot, just like Lakota East is in. You have all the options in the world now. You know, you're not forced to throw the ball down the field. You can run it. You can pass it. That's exactly the way that Rick Haynes has drawn this series up, is just chunk away at this. Let's get some momentum, get some confidence underneath us.
Braden Reap moves into the split end spot to the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 2 after a pickup of 4 by Eric Davis. And the give, and a first down for Eric Davis as he went up the middle on the dive play, sidestep a man, and they'll move the chains.
You know, it was funny when you and I were talking early on this week. I said, you know, I wonder if Coach Haynes is going to stick with that wing T. And then you sent me the roster, and it said no wide receivers, a split end, and 3 fullbacks. I'm like, I think he's going to stick with it. This is actually a little bit more reminiscent of the old Cole Rain days with Kerry Combs. A lot of orbit motion in the backfield. You're going to have 3 backs, 2 backs back there. You're not going to necessarily know where the ball's going, and that's what this whole design is meant to do. It's as important to do what with the ball in your hands as you do without the ball in your hands in this type of offense.
The give, and this time nowhere to go for Davis on a 3rd straight carry. Eric Davis is 5'11", 200 pounds, a senior. He gained 915 yards a year ago at 5.5 a pop, and he scored 8 touchdowns on the ground. 2nd down and 9 after a gain of 1. And 4 straight run plays. Will they hit the air on play number 5?
Well, we're waiting to see it. I just saw the left guard, Aiden Severfeld, come out there. Looks like he might have an equipment issue or maybe got scraped up there on that last play. So it'd be interesting to see with him out now, where do you go with this? You're in a second and long situation. Looks like we're going to have two receivers split into the field side. So, yeah, this is definitely a little bit more of a power look now for Lakota East, not so much that wing T that we've been seeing.
Marvin Richter comes into the ball game as an offensive lineman, and off left tackle, Eric Davis for yet another carry, and it'll bring up third and very long here.
Oh, they went away from the strength there, trying to catch Centerville off guards. Great job by the outside linebackers for Centerville to read that and stay at home. That is so important for those outside guys to sit back, stay at home, don't get sucked in with everything going on the field side of things.
Officially no gain. Matthew Karpinski, the leading returning tackler for the Elks, in on the stop. He had 70 tackles a year ago, including 50 solos. 3rd and 9 from the 32. They need the 41 for the line to gain. And a shotgun look for the quarterback, Troutman, and he'll throw for the first time this year. He's flushed out of the pocket, now throws. It's incomplete, down on the sideline, intended for Bryce Taylor. And it'll be a punting situation for the first time this year.
Great job by Mason Keeley there for Centerville. The defensive end really gave number 77, Nick Frischi, some troubles there on the right side. So that's going to be a matchup we're going to have to take a look at. If you look at Mason Keeley, he's 6'2", 215 pounds. That guy can move in there, so that's going to be key. We're going to have to look at that on the right side for Lakota East.
Good snap. The punt from Severveld is underway, and he'll take the return man back to the 29. Reverses field down the sideline, and a great job as Emmanuel Dane got knocked out by Bryce Taylor.
I'll tell you what, 6'5", 320-pound punter. Interesting. I'll tell you what, I would be setting up my fake punt real quick with that in the backfield. Now we get to see the Centerville offense for the first time this year. New quarterback for the first time in 4 years. This will be interesting to see how this goes.
That quarterback is Drake Wells, out of the gun. He did see some playing time a year ago. And he hands, and it's to Wakilongo. And the ball came out, or a helmet came off at the end of the play, but it's a gain of 2 for Emable Wakilongo, who rushed for 995 yards a season ago and scored 11 touchdowns on the ground. He had 4 100-yard rushing games last year. A game of 3.
He's going to be a force to be reckoned with all night. I think that was his helmet that came off, so he'll have to exit the game for a play. But, yeah, I'm anxious to see what he does here tonight.
9 comes out. Oh, 9's in, beg your pardon. And then we do see 20 coming out. Did they have an extra man in the huddle? I guess they didn't.
They must have, yeah.
So 2nd and 7, and out of the gun, again, is the new quarterback, and the hand off the right side for a few yards. Reggie Powers got the carry, and we're going to see a mixed lineup here tonight for Brent Ullery, who promised that he'll see a lot. I think he wants to evaluate here in week number 1.
Well, that's exactly it, Jeff. That's what the great coaches will do. Obviously, we're always trying to win the game, but you're trying to figure out your team right now. Who goes where? What can we do? Are we going to be a run-heavy team, pass-heavy team? You don't quite know until you get through the first couple series, and then you get that momentum going.
Wells out of the gun on 3rd and 3, down in distance. With time, he sets up the throw off the left side. It's complete out at the 40-yard line, down the sideline, and a first down. Nick Bruder picks up where he left off. 30 catches a year ago. He gets his first of the year.
Yeah, he had Stephen Embry there, kind of turned around. Really, Stephen turned his back to the receiver, which you really don't ever really want to do in that DB safety position when you're coming down on that. Great job by Drake Wells to find the open man. Great pickup for Centerville.
A pickup of 25 on the first pass play by Wells. 7:06 left to go here in this first quarter. Just getting started here in Liberty Township. Another throw. It's into space, and the receiver takes it up, and it's a loss on the play. Nothing doing as Lakota East really sniffed that one out very well. Reggie Powers out in space, had to stutter towards the sideline and had nowhere to go afterwards. It's a loss.
Great job by Stephen Embry coming down from his safety position, recognizing that screen play. He didn't make the tackle, but he made him, adjust his movement and allowed those linebackers now to come in and fill. That's exactly what you want to see from your safeties, especially when they're back. Recognize the play in the backfield and make a snap-second decision to allow your linebackers to then flow and find the football. Great job there by the Lakota East defense.
In motion, Cogill, and the keeper by the quarterback has a seam, and good yardage here for Drake Wells. And it'll bring up third and manageable.
If you notice there, Wakilongo had an amazing fake. He really sold on that ball fake, and honestly had me confused for a half a second, and had the Lakota East defense confused there. Remember, it's not necessarily what you do with the ball in your hands; it's also what you do without the ball in your hands. Sometimes in these offense with fakes and stuff like that.
Pickup of 6 in an empty backfield for Drake Wells. A trio to the bottom and a pair to the top. And East showing blitz, and they'll back off of it. Wells has time, and now he'll step through. He'll throw for the end zone to the corner and out. Intended for Powers out on the sideline. He might have come out of the backfield on a wing, a little wheel route, incomplete, and that's the first incompletion, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, great job, great pressure up front by the Lakota East defense. When you're able to do that, you flush the quarterback up, you force him into, a bad throw, force him into just a forced throw, if you will. That's going to be key. And if Lakota East is going to have a chance tonight, they're going to have to continue to win that line of scrimmage.
So we got a 45-yard attempt for Jackson Corville out of the hold of Nick Bruder. Good snap. It pinwheels to the left and through, and the first score of the year is on the board for the Elks, 3-0 on a 45-yarder on a big leg by Jackson Corville.
I think if you look at it, break that drive down for Centerville, that's what you want to do. I always used to say, as long as every drive is ending with a kick, we're going to be just fine. And especially if the kick puts points on the boards, hey, that's gravy. So again, I think that's exactly what Coach O'Leary was looking for in his first drive. Methodical down the field. They had one or two plays that went backwards. They were able to overcome those, get themselves in a position to put points on the board. That's really all you can ask out of your first drive of the season with a brand new quarterback.
Drive took 2 minutes and 51 seconds off the board. 7-play drive that culminated in the Corville field goal from for 45 yards out. And we've got our first score of the game in the year, 3-0 here in Liberty Township.
And even going back to Lakota East's first drive, they got some momentum. They got a first down. That's I think is always a big thing. Get your first down of the season on the first drive. So they'll settle some things down here. I'm anxious to see if they go back to Eric Davis now on this drive a little bit more, see what he does in the backfield. They kind of use him, honestly, as a little bit more of a decoy in that first drive. So I'm anxious to see what he does here.
Corville will kick from his own 40, and last time around I think we saw Files and Andy Vogelman, and that's who's waiting for it. And this one will, again, go out of the end zone. And we did talk about the big leg. So we did talk with head coach Brent Ullery prior to this ball game, and he says if there's a 50-yard opportunity tonight, he's going to use his field goal kicker.
Why not? Why not? With a leg like that, the guy's kicking it out of the end zone on kickoffs. He had already hit a 45-yarder here tonight. When you got that kind of leg, that's money. That is such a huge thing to have on your offensive, on your offensive sheet, because you get into those situations where some teams would be punting, you're getting points.
A note on kicking as we await Lakota East to get back in the line. I've only seen in gameplay, high school gameplay, 2 kicks of 50 or more yards on field goals. And the dive play goes nowhere to bring up second down. I want to finish up that point. That point here is as Davis has no gain on that one. One of them was a couple years ago in a playoff game, Lakota West against Coleraine. Matthew Howard kicked a school record 51-yarder that your good friend and mine, Kyle Decker, was all about. And the other one I saw was back in the late 90s. Some guy that you may or may not have heard of, in Centerville named Mike Nugent.
Went on to Ohio State. I think he won a national title for him.
They actually give Davis a pickup of 2, so forward progress was a little better than we thought. And the quick hitter to Davis, right up the gut and awfully close to a first down. I mean, he took a man with him. He took Karpinski, their leading tackler, with them for a couple of yards.
Well, you saw right there what makes him a great running back. You know, he got low to the ground. He has his weight over his feet, and what that allows you to do is you gain your momentum going forward, and that's what causes those guys to be dragging along with you. A lot of the running backs you see, some of the younger guys, they're standing straight up in the hole, and you're gonna smack the back of your offensive lineman. But if you get low and gain leverage as a running back and fall forward, you're always going to be picking up yards.
They give Davis forward progress, and it's a first down. And now the quarterback keeping, and the ball came out at the end, and we got a marker and a flag down as well.
Ball carrier Aiden Tautman.
Aiden Tautman there on the keeper. I mean, great play. I mean, he did a great job. He's just got to hold on to the football. Where he goes. I saw a flag too, but I think I'm looking at that.
We saw a flag and a marker, right? So in keeping with that, they picked up the flag, I believe. I don't know if it was actually a flag in to begin with. They picked up the marker. It's a gain of 7. And it'll bring up 2nd and 3 on a pickup of 7 for Aiden Troutman. Karpinski, the stop for Centerville once more.
I think it might have been Karpinski's cleats that I was looking at there that might have given me the flag.
Tight formation in a bunch for Lakota East. And Eric Davis got hit immediately right at the line. At the bottom of that pile was Hezekiah Holloman, listed as an outside linebacker. Oh, beg your pardon. Peyton Johnson on the other side. We're getting used to rosters, by the way.
Well, and that was a great job by Centerville to swarm the inside gap there. I think one thing for Coach Haynes in Lakota East, I would like to see him maybe start stretching the field laterally. Start getting some more buck sweep plays in there. Even buck sweep into the boundary works. But start getting that outside leverage working in your offense, because you've been going up the gut so much now, they're going to start pinholing that.
And again, great penetration. Karpinski there to clean things up. But the first one in looks like Joseph Jean-Louis.
Well, again, great job there by Joseph to snuff that out. But again, I go back to, it almost seemed like Centerville was just sitting there ready for that play. So again, get your athletes in space, start working the sidelines, or start working really laterally, and you're going to start gaining momentum. You're going to start to force Centerville to start stretching themselves out instead of putting all 8-9 guys in the box like they just did right there.
So Nick Bruder back to return. Searveld yet another punt. And a fair catch called for Bruder out towards his own 21-yard line. 42 yards on the punt. A good punt by Austin. Nothing on the return, and with 2:02 left to go in the quarter, it's still 3-0.
I mean, hey, I love to see an offensive lineman punting out there. I wish I could do it. I never was able to do it. But, hey, if he can do that, and you're right, that was a beautiful spiral end-over-end punt. It drove him down there. So, hey, good for him, man. That's awesome. Again, 300-pound punter, can't go wrong with that, especially if you get if you muff punt or something like that. That's a big truck with the football, man.
Committed to Ohio State a year ago. I don't know if he's just trying to give Ryan Day something else to think about, but that's what it seems like.
Might be coming off that punter's job up in Columbus. Who knows?
By the way, both quarterbacks wearing number 12 tonight, so in case if there's any confusion, as Drake Wells will keep off the right side for a couple of yards.
Drake Wells, the ball carrier for the Elks.
Stephen Embry came up and made the stop for the Hawks.
I'll tell you what, I've been watching Stephen out there, number 14 for Lakota East, and he's been all over the place. He's been down in the box. He's actually come down from his free safety position. I'm liking what I'm seeing from that safety spot for Lakota East. I'm going to be anxious to watch that the rest of the night.
1:32 left to go here in this first quarter. 3-0 Centerville. Right now the Elks just trying to perpetuate and try to go up by 2 scores with a touchdown. Plenty of time on the shot clock or the play clock. And the give this time to Wakilongo, and up to the challenge was East.
Emable
L.J.
Wakilongo.
Robinson was there, and so was Harrison
Tackle
Buchheit.
by Thunderhawks, number 48.
Even saw Justin Green, number 7, come down from his safety position. I think that I'm liking what I'm seeing defensively right now from Lakota East. They're mixing things up. They're swarming to the football. They just need to do a little bit better on first and second down. But right now, hey, you're in a third and long situation. That's all you can ask for.
Elks are 1 of 2 on third down here tonight. They completed, when they were on this side of the field, back on their first drive, they completed on a 25-yard pass play. Empty out on the backfield for Wells. With time, he throws, and it's a little crossing pass to Reggie Powers, who has a first down. Out to the 34-yard line, a pickup of 9, and move the chains.
Great job again. Get him out in space. Get your athletes in space, especially on third and long like that. Lakota East kind of was packing the box in there. They recognized it. They said, "Hey, let's get our athletes the ball in space," and picked up the first down there. Key play for Centerville right there.
This may be the final play of this first period. 12 seconds left to go on the clock. Triples to the bottom of your screen. Wells with Wakilongo in the backfield with him. And the quarterback keeping, and nothing really doing. Right into the heart of the line, where Wyatt Pleasant's right there in the middle. We've got a 1/10 of a second left on the scoreboard. Don't know what that's all about. And now we go to triple zeros, and we end the first quarter. After 12 minutes, 3-0 Centerville here on Chatterbox Plus. A look at the night sky here in Liberty Township as we get started with the second period. And we thank our videographer, Mike Ackley, for a heck of a shot here of that setting sun. 3-0. As Centerville on a 45-yard field goal by Jackson Corville has accounted for the only score, and we switch sides as Centerville goes right to left on your screen.
Going to be a big drive for Centerville here. You know, they had great momentum in the first one. Now this is where you got to score points. You got to get a touchdown here on this drive if you're Centerville.
Wells with time. Now he steps through. He looks right. Now is pursued and dropped.
Yep.
And now we got a flag, maybe perhaps a horse collar tackle, as Ethan Evans brought him down.
So anytime that you really get that jersey, and that was pretty blatant there by the Lakota East defender, you know, he's going to pull that down. That's an automatic horse collar every single time. Really what you want to do in that, and the coaching point on that is, hey, break down, get leverage, force him outside, let your other guys swarm to the football and make the tackle. Now that's also a little bit tough because he is the quarterback rolling out there, but yeah, that was pretty blatant on that.
Again, Mark Kling is the head official tonight. No mic on Mark. And we play fourth as they position the ball right up the middle, right at the 50-yard line, just inside the right hash mark. 1st and 10, just about 22 seconds gone on by here in the second period. And the give to the running back who's churning forth, and it's got away and has a first down.
Elks ball carrier, number 4, Emable
So Wakilongo, who looked like he was stopped 5 yards from the down marker, had another big push, bowled over a man, and got 7 more.
Great coaching point there for running backs and running back coaches there. He kept his feet moving no matter what. Oftentimes you see guys when they take that first hit, their feet stop. He didn't. He kept his feet going all the way through, broke through 2 tackles to gain that big yards. That is so important, Geoff, when you're a running back, to keep those feet turning no matter who's on you or trying to make the tackle.
Wakilongo, and now the pitch back on the reversal, coming the other way, and a stick and a good bit of defense there as Newcomb tried to make his way up front.
Little razzle-dazzle there. I love it. I love it. The end around. Great job, honestly, though, by Lakota East, and you just mentioned it. Really, they snuffed that out. That could have been, a huge play, especially with all the motion in the backfield there. They were able to stay at home, sit down, and instead of it being, possibly a touchdown, you force them into a second and short. But hey, at least you're still fighting right now on defense.
I think we called Newcomb's name. It might have been Jean-Louis on that end around on the reversal. A pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Deep drop for the quarterback, setting up the screen, and it's picked off. The first big defensive play this night here for Lakota East, picked off by Harrison Klute.
Exactly what the doctor ordered for Lakota East. I'll tell you what, you had Centerville driving down. They were getting momentum. They had the big play on the reverse, and then right there, boom, Harry Klute just sitting there waiting for the football. For Centerville, what you need to do in that situation, your guys are defended. You got one or two things. You either eat the play and just fall down, or if you're in a position, you throw it right at your receiver's feet so there's no harm, no foul. So again, this is where the momentum changes now. So can Lakota East capitalize on this, on the turnover? This is going to be big right here for Centerville. You got to have a short memory. We knew it was going to happen. Just got to have shorten up that memory.
Turnovers is a big key to your ball game as far as how this night will start. And Troutman's under center. And the end around, coming around, it's a little jet sweep to Justin Green. Now, I don't know if he got anything on that. It'll bring up second down.
Well, one thing that play does right there is at least you're stretching the field out. Centerville, I think, was really starting to get those 8, 9 guys in the box and really trying to stuff them up, because that's where Lakota East have been running the football. So you start spreading them out. Yeah, you didn't gain much yardage there. Start spreading out that defense is going to create more lanes.
Mullinger on the stop. No gain for the senior, Justin Green. Nice young man. He starts at free safety. Got a chance to chat with him just for a second yesterday, and just can't wait to get on the field for this one. And obviously, we're a quarter and a couple minutes through. 3-0 Centerville so far. And the quarterback rolling right, throwing, completing. First completion there. It goes out.
Pass is complete to number 32 for the Thunderhawks.
So Marvin Richter.
Just perfect right there. Aiden Troutman found the lane. Found him just sitting right there. Another big first down there. So now you got to build off this momentum, continue this drive down. You kind of got Centerville back a little bit on their heels. This is when the time to strike is right now for Lakota East.
Pickup of 10 for Troutman. He's 2 for 3 here so far tonight. And I think if you're Rick Haynes, that's what you want. Control, a control precision passing game. And the quick hitter to Davis, up the gut, broke free from me, and lost the ball, and it's recovered right at midfield. Aiden Seerveld recovered it, but they'll move the chains.
Well, again, great run by Eric Davis up until the very last second where he coughed up the football. But again, another great example of keeping his feet running. And hey, Aiden Seerveld, he's punting, he's recovering fumbles, he's blocking. What more could you want for a big guy on the offensive line?
Eric Davis has already carried the ball 9 times tonight. He's carried it for 28 yards, so not a lot of returns so far. Just about 3 yards of carry in the early go. Just waiting for him to break a big one. And again, the ball now at midfield, the deepest penetration here for the home team. And Davis again. And he is stacked up. Initially contacted at the line and finished up by Karpinski.
You had a 4-man front there, down 4-man front for Centerville. They brought a blitzing backer off the side, so you basically had every hole covered up there. Great job by Eric Davis to fall forward, not lose any yardage there. But again, that would have been a situation where if I were running, probably would have audibled out of that the second I saw that blitzing backer there on the left side. But again, second down and long here for Lakota East. Look at the situation you're in, and get your ball to your athletes out in space. And we got Twins now out to the field side and more of a power look.
Broken play it looked like as Troutman off the right side. I don't know if he looked to hand it off. He wasn't looking to hand it off, and he kept it off the right side for a yard.
Very interesting.
You get another stop.
Very interesting play there. I agree with you, Jeff. The more I kind of think back on that, I don't know whether he was necessarily trying to hand it off. He kind of just spun and was staring right at us. And we go, oh, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. But, hey, pick up a little bit. But now you're in that 3rd and long situation, so you're going to have to probably go downfield or figure something else out here.
Fast-moving game, 7:30 on your actual clock, and we melt the clock down to 7 minutes left to go till halftime. 3-0 Centerville with the lead off their first drive. And we've got an official stop.
Time on the field, charge to the Elks.
Elks will take their first time out, and this game is powered by Miami University Regionals. They're now accepting applications for spring and fall 2023 classes. With over 30 majors offered in person and online, you can design a schedule that fits your needs and start earning your Miami degree conveniently located in Hamilton, Middletown, Westchester, and online. Learn more at miamioh.edu/regionals. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us on Chatterbox Plus tonight. 3-0 on the strength of a big leg. 45-yard field goal by Jackson Corville, their first drive for Centerville, and that's been the only score of the night.
Yeah, it's really been kind of, they had the interception there on the screenplay as they were driving. They had a good momentum there. Lakota East now has gained some momentum, but they're in a 3rd and long situation right now. Very interested to see what Rick Haynes comes out in here. Are you going to come in with your bunch? Are you going to go with that power twins look that we've seen a few times? Or are you going to finally see him maybe, get into a more of a spread look with it here? Ball's on the right hash, so expect to see some receivers out to the left. And sure enough, they're going to put a wing back in there with 2 receivers. You might as well, if you're a defense for Centerville, you're going to basically treat that wing back as an extra receiver. So it's really 3 receivers to the left side into the field.
Reaps the flanker to the right. Quarterback out of the gun. Troutman over the middle, and it's picked off! Out to the 50. 1 man to beat. Out to the 10, to the 10, to the 5, towards the pylon. Is he in? He is short.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to be a teaching moment for Aiden Troutman right there.
Ross Kopic picked it off and took it all the way back to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal coming up.
Aiden Troutman right there, he was looking at Eric Davis from the moment that snap happened. And all he had to do was just sit back and time that up, and boom, struck right there. And, there's another big, exciting return for us as we've seen, all last year. Now we got another one this year. So that'll be a learning thing that they're going to see in film tomorrow for Aiden. And, hey, listen, you got to look your guys down, work your progression, and, don't stare down your number 1 guy.
Unofficially, a 50-yard return for Kopic. 1st and goal at the 5. Doubles to the bottom of your screen. Wells out of the gun. Wakilongo to his right. We'll see if they give it to Wakilongo as they motion the tight end to the left. And before we can get the play started and Wakilongo can carry the ball, we've got to stop.
Penalty flag on the play.
False start on the offense, so move them back 5 yards.
And those are really the kind of mistakes, especially in the goal line, that you just really can't make. Again, we talked about it. It's week 1. You got to expect those to happen. They'll clean it up real quick, I'm sure, next week. But, now you force yourself into a first and goal, really, from the 10-yard line.
And Wakilongo reversing field and is stopped. No gain.
Elks ball carrier number 4, Emable Wakilongo.
So Wakilongo got stopped. Wyatt Pleasant out of his D-line spot made the stop.
Great job by Wyatt there to really, we call it playing heel depth. You don't over-penetrate into the backfield. You play heel depth, all right, and you sit back and you wait, and that's exactly what he did right there. He knew his assignment. He did his assignment and was able to make the play, and now you force him into a second and long situation here. Looks like we got a player with a cramp down there.
We have a timeout. Yeah, and we do have an injury stop at this point. And while we can talk about that, now a lot to talk about as far as I'm concerned with Centerville. Now, keep in mind, I can literally, from where I live in Kettering, spit into Centerville. That's how close to Centerville I actually am. So knowing that area so well and the pedigree of the Ulleries, Brent's the head coach right now in his 6th year. Brent's dad coached there for an awfully long time. Ron was a position coach and an offensive coordinator from 1977 to 1999. And then he was promoted to head coach in 2000. Coached for 14 more years at the school, compiled a 107-45 mark, including a perfect 10-0 regular season, and I capitalized regular season in 2004. And then they played Mason in the first round in Centerville, blew them out, and in the second round over at Miami University, they had the misfortune of running into perhaps the greatest high school team of the 21st century. Do you know who that is?
I'm going to take a wild guess to say maybe Coleraine.
It was Coleraine. Kerry Combs Coleraine, state champs.
You know how I know that? Because guess who played in the second week when I was a junior was Moeller High School, and we got absolutely thumped by them. 34-7, I think, was the final at Miami the next week.
So out of the timeout with 6:19 left to play here till halftime. 3-0 as Wells gets the ball. And he'll roll left, he'll throw left, and it's incomplete. Intended out there for Nick Bruder.
Looks like we might have another Lakota East player down. Looks like he's stretching out his leg. But I'll say this, one thing, great goal line defense right now by Lakota East. This is what you want to have happen here. There was really nowhere for him to throw the football. Everybody was covered, man on man. That's what you want to see in these type of situations. Force him to kick it. Force him to kick a field goal here, and that's exactly what Lakota East has done. Hey, we had a mistake. We made a mistake. How do we respond to that now? A lot of times you see in game one, you don't see this on the goal line necessarily. So this is impressive right now by the Lakota East defense.
As we have paused here for this timeout, 6:10 left on the board till halftime. 3-0 Centerville with the lead. Along with Archer's uncle, Uncle Kev, Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here tonight on Chatterbox Plus. In terms of equal time and talking about Lakota East, you remember back to the game that you and I had here in week 3. It was our game of the week on Chatterbox Live. And that was a game that East simply ran all over Middletown, 49-7 in that game. Just a vastly different team from last year. Gone is T.J. Kathman. Charlie Kenrich is gone. Of course, he's gone to Purdue to play football. Nick Rabin, I remember one of the wide receivers who caught a touchdown in that ball game. So they lost a lot of senior receivers and a 3-year starting quarterback. 3rd and 10 out of timeout. And a roll left by Wells, the quarterback, still looking. And now pumps to the end zone, and it's batted away. This could have been an easy 6, but that one broken up there by Connor Clem, I believe. Did I see 18 out there? I believe I saw 18.
Was, yeah.
So, in any case, it's broken up and it'll bring up 4th down.
You can't ask for anything better right now than if you're Lakota East defensive coordinator. That's exactly what you wanted to see. Almost exactly as this play before. There was nowhere for him to go.
So, Bruder will hold. Lucas Smith will put it back, and yet another field goal.
No.
Wide to the left. It did not clear the crossbar to the left side as he pulled it. And a great job as Lakota East on what was 1st and goal at the 5 holds. And Centerville comes away with no points.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you look at Centerville on that drive, how important now does that offsides penalty hurt them? You push yourself back 5 yards, and really they didn't gain much after that. 2 incompletions, one kind of run up the middle that didn't go anywhere. So again, penalties in the end in the red zone. Those are killers, and we just saw it right there. But what a job by the Lakota East defense. There was nowhere for him to go. The defensive backs, the safeties, everywhere. They played lockdown coverage, and that's all you can do. You need to play that picket fence, is what we call it there on the goal line. Nobody, man on man, nowhere for the quarterback to go.
Davis behind the quarterback, Troutman. And the pitch back on a little fly sweep coming to the near side, and a big thump. So Nick Miller had a burst of speed and tried to get around, and I think Jean-Louis had none of that.
Well, what Nick Miller was trying to do was trying to find that lane to plant and get upfield. You don't ever want to get it too far out, but I like what Coach Haynes is doing right now in stretching out Centerville's defense. Get them spread out. That's going to open up that middle game and Eric Davis again.
So pickup of 6 on that play, on that little fly sweep. And it's 2nd and 4 with 5:19 left to go till halftime. 3-0, a surprise score. Are you a little bit surprised?
I am. Not so much on the Lakota East side. With that offense that they run, you knew it was going to be methodical, but definitely on the Centerville side of things.
The give to Davis for a couple. So we melt the clock down to 5 minutes.
Fast-moving game. That's what you get with a run-style offense like Lakota East. They're going to chew up the clock. They're going to be methodical down the field. They're going to chunk out yardage, boom, 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 all the way down the field. That's game control. Bill Parcells used to call it, we're going to shorten the game. All right, that's what we're going to do, and that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Lucas Smith on the stop. 3rd and 2 with 4:30 left to go. And you know that East really wants to convert here and melt more of the clock away, give their defense a little bit of a breather. And another quick hitter for Davis, and he should have the first down. The line to gain was the 30-yard line. He needed 2. He got 3.
Yeah, not a lot of thrills right now from Lakota East. It has been pretty methodical down the field, and that's what you're going to get with Coach Haynes' offense. He's never had that big down the field, big hitter offense. It's always been that kind of wing tee, power football that they're just going to chunk out yards and they're going to just wear you out on defense.
Under 4 to play till halftime. 1st down and 10. Just inside the near hash mark at the 31-yard line. Centerville showing blitz. And a drop for Troutman. He tries to throw on the run. It's incomplete for Davis, who is a safety valve on the near sideline. And a heavy rush. I think Centerville thought pass, and they came up with 7s.
Well, Jacob Mullinger there off the right side, number 25, shot in there off the blitz. Really nobody saw him. I don't think anybody touched him, to be honest with you, there on the right side, and just swooned in there. Great job by Mullinger. He broke down, forced him into a bad throw. Honestly, by Aiden Troutman, not bad to get rid of the ball there and not take the sack. A little risky, but not bad. Good awareness by Aiden on that play. We call that you live to fight another down.
3:44 frozen on the clock. 3-0 Centerville. Under a really pretty sunset here in Liberty Township. Troutman thought he had a running play and now has to eat it. And he came off that right side, and Jean-Louis was waiting for him for a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was a broken play. I'm actually looking at some of the coaches' reactions. Sometimes that's the best way to see if it was a broken play, to see who's yelling down there on the sidelines. But again, another interesting play there. I'm going to assume that was a broken play. I don't think he meant to bring it back.
The way he was looking back right behind him and looking to pitch it out, he saw no one was there.
Right, yeah, so exactly. I'm going to say that was a pretty well-broken play.
So it's either a broken play or the most deceptive play-action play I can ever think of. 3rd down and 11. I think we're rounding back in a midseason form. Troutman to pass. Rolls right, and now flushed and dropped. No gain once more, as Jean-Louis cleaned him up for Sam Williams. Or, beg your pardon, 71, Zane who?
Well, Cameron Gay, Mason Keeley, Reggie Powers in there. I mean, they have just caused all sorts of havoc right now on this drive for Lakota East. They are swarming to the football. They're getting penetration into the offensive line. If you're Lakota East, hey, tighten down those splits, all right, guys, on pass protection. I'm probably going to give them more help in the backfield there because they're getting so much penetration right now. They're not giving them any time. And again, in a wing T offense, it's not designed to be, a 3rd and long offense. It's never been designed to do that. So that's what you got to avoid, are these type of situations when you get into those long yardage situations. So with that pressure that Centerville is putting on them, right now I'm just saying, hey guys, offensive line-wise, we got to tighten things down.
We got a timeout charge to Centerville. They've got 1 left on the board with 2:52 left to go until they head to the locker room. And want to thank my friend Josh Cook. So Josh is somebody that I work with in my, we'll call it the day job, without mentioning who the good boss is. But Josh in a former life had been a CrossFit coach, and Brent Ullery was one of his clients. So Brent had kind things to say about Josh coaching him, and actually when Josh had coached him, Ullery had brought players in so they would understand CrossFit and understand a little bit more of the workout principles, and not just the strength part of it, but the flexibility piece of it as well. Another kick for Centerville. It backs the return man out to the 24-yard line. And now he cuts to the middle. and out to the 28-yard line. The return man is 10, Self Alhadrino.
Well, there was definitely a block in the back there that the referees missed. It was right in front of us. But I want to talk about Aiden Sieberfeld. I mean, that kick right there, he was backing up 10 yards to try and get that. I mean, he's got a heck of a leg on him.
So a 49-yard punt, a return of 4, and it's 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. And the sun is coming in like you wouldn't believe. First and 10. Wells out of the gun, looks left, throws left, and it's complete to the left. And he's got a first down as Emmanuel Deng, the basketball player, got it up there, and Justin Green, after the first down catch, makes a stop, but move the chains. First and 10.
Interesting pass play there by Centerville. That was literally all hitches. We used to call that, when I was coaching, Hawaii. All right, everybody ran basically a 5-yard hitch route back, and they all looked back at him. Great job there by the outside receiver to gain leverage to the outside the outside to the boundary and pick up that first down.
Pickup of 13. 2:10 left to go till halftime, and another throw again for Deng, and the ball came off his hands. I don't know if it was a catch anyways, and even when he hit the ground, it did come out, so incomplete.
Well, I didn't see if there was much pressure there on the quarterback, but again, he was pretty well wide open right there. You know, those are the type of plays you got to hit, especially in a first and down situation. You got a few minutes, about 2 minutes left to go in the quarter. Those are the type of plays you got to hit. They'll see that on film and hopefully shore that up for next week.
2:05 left to play till halftime. Again, Wells in the gun with Wakilongo. Doubles to the near side. Back to passes Wells, looking left, and it's incomplete out at the midfield stripe. Intended for Sean Cole.
Well, what Centerville is trying to do right here, I call it dink and dunk football, okay? So they're basically, again, you saw all receivers run basically to the first down marker and almost turn around. All right, another Hawaii hitch play. So, again, that's just kind of dinking and dunking. You're going to try and extend your running game by running those hitch routes down the field. Now you got to complete the ball, and then now you're forced into a 3rd and long situation with 3 receivers to the field side now.
3rd and 10, they motion Wakilongo to the left. And a wheel route for him, and they throw to the right, and this one incomplete. Intended out there for Nick Bruder. And the ball was a little too tall for him, and I think Centerville might have outthought themselves passing this early in this stretch of the second quarter.
You know, you took the words right out of my mouth, and exactly that. I think that they were trying to get a little too antsy to get down the field, and they kind of went away from their bread and butter of run the football pass, you know, get into that rhythm. They kind of just were too antsy to get down the field and get the score. Now you're going to leave Lakota East with plenty of time on the board to do whatever they want to do.
Vogelman's back to return. Nearly blocked.
Ooh.
And it takes a very favorable Centerville roll out to the 10-yard line. So that turned into a very big-time plus play for visiting Centerville. Back to the 10-yard line, 49 yards officially on the net. And we got a down player out at the 40-yard line.
I can't see who that is. Glaire's kind of on the numbers there. I'm not sure.
Taking a look. I think we can see a 4 as we're trying to see. There's only they're covering up the numbers, so we can only guess at this point.
I see his helmet's off, which is usually never a great sign. We'll have to see. Hopefully it's just a really bad cramp, or maybe just did something up there. Interesting, because it was kind of away from the action a little bit. On that, I mean, they had amazing penetration in. I mean, very close to blocking that punt. But again, to your point, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better punt really for Centerville. I mean, you're going to pin him back almost inside the 10-yard line, and you know that's exactly at this stage in the ball game, late in the second quarter. That's really what you want to have happen.
We've pulled away from the injury situation down on the field. if nothing else, it just looks like the player who's prone on his back is just uncomfortable more than he is hurting right this second. But he hasn't really moved very much, and I don't know if they're going to call out for anyone more. He did lift up his head initially.
Yeah, I mean, that's the concern. You don't never want it to be a head injury. Obviously, that's always a big concern early on in the year, and injuries unfortunately do happen in this game. So you got to kind of manage and mitigate your way through those. Just a little concerned that he's been on the ground for this long.
Well, he has lifted up his head again, right? So they've kept his arms spread out wide, and his legs. He's not moved, I don't think, any other extremities yet to this point other than his head. So they are concerned. And by the way, as we get a look down here, you see to your left the new athletic director at Lakota East, Jill Mehring, who took over for Richard Bryant back in July. Bryant moved on to Loveland, and Mehring, who had been with Lakota East as an assistant athletic director for 5 years, moves up to the top spot. And John Mason, who is an assistant baseball coach and a teacher at the school, moves up into Mehring's old spot as the new assistant athletic director.
Yeah, Richard Bryant took over from my good friend, Brian Knatzer, over at Loveland. Brian got promoted to assistant vice principal at Loveland. So congrats to Brian and his family. Known Brian Knatzer for a long, long time. Coached with him in my first year, and looks like now they're bringing out the cart. That's never a good sign. There, Geoff.
So they are propping up the young man's head, and we're still waiting to see if we can get a number.
It looks like they're working on. It looks like it might be that left leg.
It is a leg.
Yeah, definitely they're focusing in on that. So
they brought out a knee brace for the left leg, and if nothing else, the player on the field hasn't really yelped in pain. I mean, obviously he's in discomfort, but you think about the types of injuries that happen on a football field. There's the scariest ones where you have players who are unconscious after hits and contact. Here, in this case, while I haven't really seen him speak, he's lifted his head up, and he's been relatively calm. He does look this uncomfortable, but they are wrapping up his left leg as we speak out on the field.
Probably putting some type of air cast there, yeah. And, that's just unfortunate, especially week one. You hope that it's nothing serious, that he's able to get right back to it. Yeah, they're not putting any weight on that left leg of his. So
it's 14. It's one of the starting safeties, Stephen Embry.
And I was talking about him early on. He has actually played a great game. He's been playing downhill from that safety position. He's been getting in the mix there. So, yeah, that's just unfortunate. Great job there, though, by his teammates picking him up, shaking his hand, and hopefully it's nothing serious, because he has had a really good game so far tonight.
Well, we go back to the types of hits, right? The scariest are the ones that players are knocked unconscious, because part of it is you don't know what the injury is automatically just seeing a player unconscious. The others are, you think when you see a player who is conscious and motionless.
Right.
In the case of young Mr. Embry, he just gave the point to his bench, and he's encouraging to play on. The fact that he's moving extremities, and while he may have an orthopedic injury, it's not spinal, and that is the good news.
Absolutely. Yeah, we wish him the best, because like I said, he played a great game tonight. Great first half. He was in everything, but here we go now. See what Lakota East can do. March it down the field here. 1st and 10
at their own 10-yard line, and it's a running play to the right, and again, it's young Mr. Eric Davis.
So he was bumbling that. I saw that from the beginning. He was bumbling that pitch, and Centerville seemed to almost indicate it looks like somebody fell on that, or he might have grabbed it the last second there, but small pickup, but definitely want to shore that up. I like actually the play. I like that sweep play. We haven't seen that much from Lakota East yet.
Yeah, they did go off tackle on the right, out behind Eric Pop, and it's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. The thing is, when you see plays like that and you see slow-moving plays like that, you have a defense in Centerville who reacts pretty well to the ball as we melt the clock down to 70 seconds. 2nd and 9. And it's to the running back right up the gut on a little dive play. I think I saw the ball almost looked like it got exchanged twice in the backfield. And they stop the clock here with just under a minute.
Oh yeah, Centerville is going to take their last time out. Hopefully, gain some field position here. They've obviously shut down the Lakota East offense, and I think at this point, if you're Coach Haynes, you're just trying to get out of this situation. You're backed up. You're 3rd and long here. I'm not sure if we go downfield or not necessarily for Lakota East, but 100% correct there. Slow-moving plays like that, and you give a defense like Centerville time to react, you're going to lose that battle every single time.
Another timeout. That's the last one here of the half for Centerville with 59.9 seconds left to go. Well, I get the rationale here. Even if you have a running play here and it doesn't pick up a first down, you still have to punt it back if you're Lakota East with, we'll call it time. I mean, under 30 seconds left to go until halftime. But at least if you're Drake Wells, you have a chance to throw up the ball 1 or 2 times for a big heave-ho and see if you can get lucky at the end of the half.
Which we really haven't seen that big downfield play yet from Centerville, or really any of the teams, or both of these guys. And, also, if you're Lakota East, you might be going, hey, we got a heck of a punter right now who's had 3 really good punts tonight, so might not be the worst situation in the world.
So 3rd and we'll call it 8 after a very small pickup there by Marvin Richter. Ball spotted just outside the 12-yard line. Right now, if you're Lakota East, you want a first down so you can at the very least run out the clock.
Ooh.
Davis again breaks free and has a first down. He took a couple of guys for a ride.
Well, we just talked about it. That's what we needed. That's what Lakota East needed right there. That was it. Get that first down, keep the drive alive. And now you might be in a spot to take a shot downfield here as well. We got 45 seconds left to go.
Pickup of 11 and move the chains. 1st and 10 at the 23. Well, if nothing else, you can run out the clock.
Right.
And I don't want to say that's a win, right? You're behind in the game, and albeit it's only by 3 points, and you have yet to put up points in a ball game, or this season for that matter, you still go into the locker room with a win because you've held the opposing offense to 3 points, and now we've got a whistle and a helmet came off, flags in the backfield, and a false start against the offense.
Yeah, well, that's not what you wanted to have happen there. You don't want to be moving backwards, especially in this type of situation for Lakota East. So now, you kind of do have to force into a little bit of a management situation.
Well, I don't know about you, partner, but I honestly think the best thing to do right now, take a knee, go to the locker room.
And you're absolutely right, especially when you're in this situation. Your offense has struggled to gain that momentum all game long, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
They're just going to let the play clock run, and because the game clock is less than the play clock, the half will expire. 3-0 at the half. Mercy. The only score of this ball game, a 45-yard field goal by Jackson Corville on the first drive by Centerville this evening. Your thoughts before we go to the halftime break?
Well, we got our first mercy of the season right there, and it's a good one. It is a very good one because I'm just as shocked as you are right now. Both offenses have struggled, in different facets. You have turnovers on both sides. You had Centerville who had the ball 1st and 10 on the 5. They get a penalty. They couldn't punch it in. Great defense by Lakota East. So, again, we called it Pandora's box, right? You don't quite know what you're going to get with week 1. And both teams, I think, right now are still trying to figure themselves out.
You call it Pandora's box. If you're Forrest Gump, it might be a box of chocolates.
There you go. You never know what you're going to get.
Again, your score at the half. 3-0. Centerville on a Jackson Corville 45-yarder, the difference so far. We will take a long time out. When we return, we'll recap the first half and look ahead to half number 2 here on Chatterbox Plus. So we're about ready to get this third quarter started. 3-0 Centerville out of the Greater Western Ohio Conference has the lead over Lakota East out of the Greater Miami Conference. And right now, Lakota East is not the only Lakota school getting shut out at the half.
Yeah, we got Lakota West on the other side of town here, down 13-0 to St. Xavier. That's a rematch from the regional semifinal game last year.
See Revelle to kick it off from the 40. And now we stop action, and we may reset. A flag comes out at the end of it.
Looks like somebody might have might have left a little bit early there, across the line a little too early for Lakota East. But yeah, you look at that game over on the other side of town. That's big. We were talking about Lakota West. When was the last time we didn't see them score? We saw them 9-10 times last year, and I don't remember it. I mean, you've seen them heck of a lot more than I have too. So that's interesting. We'll have to keep that in the back of our minds for next week.
And next week is a doozy.
Yeah.
The Battle of Lakota right here at the Hawks Nest.
Yep.
Next Friday. Can't wait for that one right here on Chatterbox Live.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be fun.
So push the ball back 5 yards on the legal procedure, and Austin Sierreveld, who must have won punt, pass, and kick at some point in his life.
Hey, I love it. I absolutely love it.
He kicks from the 35, end over end, pinwheeling back to the return man, and this one will take a bounce in the end zone touchback. How do you like that?
Coach Ryan Day, you might have a kicker, a punter, and an offensive lineman here on your hands when he gets to Columbus. I'll tell you what, that is impressive. I mean, that is huge. Again, I'm in my mind, I'm going, okay, do I got a fake punt here coming up with this big guy? Because he's going to drag some guys with him. I'm just anxious to see that. That's where my mind's going.
Well, you ever see the onside play? That's not really onside. It's a direct kick right up the middle for 10 yards and recovered by the kickoff specialist. How would you like 330 pounds of Austin Sierreveld barreling down your chamber into your kitchen, recovering the ball?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Drake Wells out of the gun. He motions the tight end to the left. And the give to Wakilongo, who will get the first carry of this second half. He gains 3 yards on the play. And in on the stop, was that Embry? I don't believe that was Embry. 34, beg your pardon. 34 is Cohen Reap.
And one thing we've seen from Lakota East defense all night long is they've swarmed to the football. They did that on the goal line stand. They really have done it all night. They've done a fantastic job of recognizing where the ball is, and then everybody, all 10, 11 hats, getting to that football. If they can keep that up, they'll definitely limit this Centerville offense. Now you got spread offense here now for the Elks.
Pickup of 3, and a little pass outside, and a first down out to the wing. Dang with yet another catch and move the chains.
So that's what Centerville needed to do. Kind of get the ball out in space, start spreading the ball around. And now I think you're going to start seeing Coach Olery start maybe open up the playbook a little bit. He kind of got his feet grounded there. Hey, even as a guy calling plays, you kind of got to get in the groove of it. And now that he's there, I think you're going to start seeing some more formations like you are right here.
Pickup of 9, and Wakilongo, little counter back to the left. And a good job supporting them on defense. First one in, Justin Green out of his DB spot.
Been so impressed with the DBs and the safeties for Lakota East. You saw Justin Green right there fly down. They're able to get off their blocks from receivers very quickly, recognize where the ball is, and go in and make a play. We've seen that all night long from the Lakota East backfield. Great job by their coaches and to get them ready for that. That's fantastic.
They go tight in the formation. Wells waits, and Wakilongo again. Now off the right side, has room and a first down. Again, Green was the first one there in on contact, and L.J. Robinson helped clean him up.
Great job there. Right guard, A.J. Abad, and then Grant Wilder there on the right side to create that running line. You don't need a lot. It didn't even look like a lot right there. You don't need a lot. You just got to be able to hold your water there with your defender and make sure he doesn't penetrate back.
They spot the ball at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, and Centerville having a really nice first drive of the second half. And Wakilongo again, and now they whistle the play dead.
I'm going to say was that wing back to our side here, Jeff, that moved a little bit early.
So you got to think emphasis was on offense. The defense, I'm sure, didn't get a tongue lashing on either side in the locker room at the halftime. I'm sure the offense heard something a little different.
A little bit, yeah. And, it's probably not a tongue lashing. It's just, hey, all right, guys, where do we go from here? What do we got to do to get that big play we were talking about? Get that momentum going. Where are we going with this? Obviously, I think both offenses would love to put more points on the board, but at the same time, they're still trying to figure this out.
Jean-Louis split out to the left, and Wakilongo a little counter, and back to the middle of the field. And he picks up very nearly 4.
Wakilongo with a tackle here, Thunderhawks.
I'll tell you what, they put Wakilongo in a lot of different areas. You know, they've ran him up the middle. They put him on the edge. You know, they've even gotten the ball to him in some space. So he's a very versatile running back, and that's what you want to see. Some guys are just, you know, those power guys up the gut. He can get it out in space and do some things, but then he can also be that power back as well.
This drive has melted 3 minutes off the clock so far. 3-0 Centerville. 2nd and 12 after a pickup of, we'll call it 3. And Jean-Louis in motion back to the near side. Play action. Wells is flushed and sacked. Centerville the first one in and cleaned up on the backside by L.J. Robinson.
He can punt, he can kick, he can block, and he can get sacks. I mean, Jeff, I don't know. I just named all 4 phases of the game right there that he can do. That's impressive. That is wildly impressive for him.
So a 3-yard loss, and we'll call it 3rd and 15.
You know, I think really, you know, at 6'5", at a defensive end or line position, for him to get down like that and get lower, leverage is key for defenders, and that was wildly impressive.
Wells back to pass, a roll right, has some space, and now runs out of space, throws it, and is it picked off?
Ooh.
Incomplete or picked off? Incomplete.
Tell you what, great job by this Lakota East defense all night long. This has been the shining star. You know, now it's just the offense's turn. Has got to get out there and create that momentum. But my goodness, they got to be really, really happy with the way they've played defense here in these last really 2.5 quarters.
The punter back at his own 24. Corville angles this one to the left, and this one stands up out towards the 20-yard line and nicely avoided by Lakota East. The split end had gotten away from it, Vogelman, and waved off everybody else. Bryce Taylor actually looked like he was going to get it on the hash mark and forced that into a turnover. No dice, and it's 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
You know, punting's been kind of the name of the game here tonight, honestly, for both offenses. It's a little Jim Tressel football right now. You know, punt might be your best option, your best play you got on your call sheet here tonight for these offenses. But again, Lakota East right now backed up into their own end zone again. Let's see what they can do to get this ball down the field and gain some momentum.
47-yard punt by Corville, and it's 1st and 10 for Lakota East at their own 15-yard line. Troutman off the left side, and he gives. And it's Eric Davis once more, who had 14 carries in the first half, a pickup of a few.
Well, that's what you want to do on your first play. You know, gain a good 5 yards, good 4 yards. Can't, you know, get going. You know, that's the key right now. And I think really Coach Haynes is going to try and figure out some things. You know, I'd like to see him maybe open up the call sheet a little bit and try and get into some different formations, possibly try and kind of get Centerville just out of their comfort zone defensively. Because Centerville right now has been playing very comfortably on defense. What can you do to get him out of that?
Braden Reap out of your screen. The wide receiver to the right. And the keep. And now the ball's out. It's loose. And Centerville says they have it out at the 10-yard line. Now the ball is still out. And we're waiting for the signal. We have a scrum. It looked like it was Centerville's right at the 11, and the ball squirted free after that, and a big potential turnover. This may stay up front.
It looks like they're going to mark it, and I'm going to say it's going to stay Lakota East football. And that's what it looks like here to me. Nobody signaled turnover, but hey, those are the kind of mistakes you just can't make right there in those type of situations.
So the Thunderhawks do recover in that scrum that was out towards the right hash mark. Ball came out on what looked like was an attempted pitch, and Troutman got caught between steps and really didn't have any muscle to pitch it back, and therefore the ball came out.
Well, it was an option play, okay? And when you're a quarterback in an option play, you got to commit. All right, you can't hesitate anything. And that's what he did there. He hesitated with the football and delayed that. You got to either pitch it or you got to keep it. It's one of the two. You got it, but you got to make the decision right away. They'll see that on film tomorrow and clean that up.
3rd and 13 out of the gun is Troutman looking left, throwing. It's a throwback, and the receiver trying to get up front to the middle of the field. Got a couple yards, and now a flag at the end of the play as Justin Green came in, and the ball's turned over, and Centerville has it. So the ball had come out. Green was trying to make his way for extra yards out towards the 10-yard line, and it'll be 1st and goal, Centerville.
We'll have to check and see what the penalty flag is there. It came from the far line judge on the far side. Wait and see here. I think he's trying to figure out the. Looks like it might have been. Yeah, it was a penalty on Lakota East, so they'll decline it. And this might be that play, Geoff, that we've been talking about all night. This momentum changer that both teams have been trying to get to. You know, who was going to get to it first? And it looks like right now Centerville has that opportunity. We're going to see the Lakota East goal line defense again, though, and we saw them earlier in the first half, and my goodness, were they good.
It's 1st and goal. They'll spot the ball at the 8-yard line. We saw a similar situation back in the second quarter, and Centerville was turned away on a Corville miss on a field goal. They motion the tight end back to the left, and the give. Wakilongo up the middle, nothing doing.
Yeah, and all fronts there, my goodness, they plugged that hole really, really quickly for Centerville. And, you know, again, you know, they might have even lost a yard or two on that play. It looks like they did, actually, moving the yard back. But, yeah, I mean, that's great defense by Lakota East again.
A loss of 1 on the play for Wakilongo, who had 995 yards a year ago. And now up the middle, off the left side, the keeper, and minimal yards off the left side for the quarterback. So Wells picks up nearly 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and goal. And yet another interesting situation. Can Lakota East stiffen here in this situation?
Yeah, that, you know, Bill Belichick calls play that picket fence on the goal line. All right, you know, you got to be a picket fence, man on man, get pressure, plug the holes. Everybody's there. This is going to be an exciting down right here, Geoff.
Wells in the gun. Wakilongo to his right. 3rd and goal. He throws to the corner of the end zone, and it is picked off. No, incomplete, but it'll bring up 4th down. Great job of defense out to the corner. Outstanding hands to deflect it away for Nick Miller.
I mean, the entire secondary, I spoke on it earlier and I'll say it again, the entire secondary for Lakota East right now has played phenomenal. Looks like he's going to keep the offense on the field right now.
And why not? 4th and goal. You got to get up by 2 possessions and try to seal away the game if you can. The play of the night. Movement on the east line, 14 on the play clock. Wells repositions. And the play of the night coming up right here with under 5 to play, and now with a stoppage of play. We got a flag on the field. I thought they were going to call for the TO with 1 on the play clock. Instead, we have a flag.
Yeah, it looks like it was encroachment there on the on Lakota East. And you're right. I think they were very close, a second away from calling a timeout there. Unfortunately, he jumped right before it.
So move the ball half the distance to the goal line, out towards, we'll call it right around the 3-yard line, just inside the 3. You do have a runner pass option here with Wakilongo. Wells in the gun. He gets Wakilongo off the left side, touchdown! Centerville owns a 9-0 lead. On a 3-yard run to the outside, got a nice seal block by the left tackle, and put 6 on the board for the Elks.
Great job by Wakilongo to recognize the pressure. He knew his lane, he found his lane, and it walked in for an impressive touchdown right there. I mean, hey, that's about the play of the night right there. That whole sequence, the fumble recovery and then getting in the end zone for Centerville, first score of the year, and now we're going for 2. It looks like they stopped them.
They did stop them. So it's short of the goal line on that play for 2. And I don't know why you go for 2, because the difference between going up 10-0 and 11-0 is really, at this point of the game, given the way that East isn't moving the ball, isn't much.
No, you're right. And that was the old swinging gate. You had basically your entire offensive line to the left, had 2 guys there maybe trying to get a little, get trickery with them, I guess. I don't know, but I agree with you, Geoff. Just kick it. You got the field goal kicker to do it. Go ahead and take the points that you got and, walk away. Now, it's a 9-0 score. Lakota East is still very in this game now, right now.
Drive summary. The drive took 4 plays, 8 yards officially. It chewed up a minute and 15 seconds off the clock, capped off by the Wakilongo touchdown off the left end, his first of the year. The 2-point conversion, no good. Brand new score here in Liberty Township, 9-0. Still a baseball score.
Yeah, very much so. A high baseball score, but yes, a baseball score nonetheless.
Yeah, we got, 3 3-run home runs right now? I think that's what it comes down to.
That's it, exactly.
But a touchdown on the board for the Elks, and you have to commend Ullery, right? He could have gone for 3, but it still would have been a 1-possession game. He kind of realized the game was right here and now.
You got to go for it, absolutely.
And right now, that's the early candidate of our play of the night. 4:50 left to go here in this third. 9-0 Centerville. Long kick by Corville. Deep in the end zone, and he kicked some boomers.
Tell you what, man, that's impressive. That leg, I'm not sure what he's getting looked at college-wise, but I'm sure they're going to be all over him after this year, because that's a leg that is just too valuable not to.
Well, I mentioned this in the last half. I've only seen, and not saying that we will see an attempt of 50-plus tonight by Corville, but he is capable of 50. He hits, apparently from what I understand, he hits them from outside of 50 in practice, according to Coach Ullery. And like I said, only 2 guys I've ever seen in competition hit 50 in a high school game.
Yeah, I mean, that's just wildly impressive. And I'll be anxious to kind of follow him along this year and see where he ends up.
Run play comes right, and now we got a flag at the end of the play as we see a helmet come off.
Yeah, helmet come off there, and I'll tell you what.
So Troutman on the keeper has nowhere to go.
And he took a lick on that.
And he did take a lick.
I mean, he took a heck of a lick. I'm not sure. I wonder if that may have been what the penalty was. We'll have to see.
And we do see a down elk. We do see a down elk right about the spot of contact.
So it looks like they called personal foul against Lakota East. Obviously, without a microphone, we don't quite know the circumstances.
And we may have a cramp the way they're working on the leg of the player for Centerville. And while it's not the warmest of nights, in fact, game time temperature, as we mentioned at the top, was 83 degrees. Obviously, we've cooled off quite a bit since then with the descending sun. And while we have a moment and we wait for the player to get up and be recognized, this game is powered by Miami University Regionals, now accepting applications for spring and fall 2023 classes. With over 30 majors offered in person and online, you can design a schedule that fits your needs and start earning your Miami degree, conveniently located in Hamilton, Middletown, and Westchester, and online. Learn more at miamiou.edu/regionals.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to work out that cramp right now.
By the way, have you ever had one of those, where you have a calf pull or...
Oof.
I mean, those are scary. They don't hurt that much, but when you have a muscle pop out, you kind of you wonder what's actually happened to your extremity.
It's a really awkward feeling. I think that's the best way to put it. It's not a painful feeling like you just said. It's just one of those really awkward.
So it is, as you see on your screen, number 11 out on the field. That is Peyton Johnson, who doubles as a tight end and a defensive lineman. senior, 6'2", 220 pounds.
Yeah, good to see him. Looks like he's not putting any weight, though, on that right ankle. Looks like that maybe, I don't know, hopefully not a sprained ankle, but hopefully he's all right.
So we resume action 9-0 as it's now a 2-score ball game here. And a throw out to the far side, complete. Short gain on a little hitch route out there to the split end, Andy Vogelman.
Well, I think really what Coach Haynes there was trying to do is gain back that yardage they had lost, get it back to the original line of scrimmage, and, a 3rd and 10 or 2nd and 10 is a lot better than, anything more than that, I guess. But, yeah, I think that's what the mindset there was on that play.
First varsity game and start for Vogelman. First catch tonight. We melt the clock down to 4 minutes. 2nd and 13. Well, that's what they say up on the board. And a pitch back coming back around to the top side. And boy, a big hit on the ball carrier. Nick Miller, who came around on a little sweep. Came around, got the handoff, and then he got around to the sideline and got a heavy push.
Some people probably watching this were wondering, why do you run a pitch play into the boundary or into the sideline? And you do that for one reason, is that it creates a lane. It forces your running back to plant his foot and get upfield. And also, typically, if you can run it away from your strength, that strength is always, the defensive strength is always going to be the field side. So that's why, coaches like that like to run those sweep plays into the boundary.
Pickup of 3, 3rd and 10. And now we've got to stop with 3:50 left to play and a timeout charged to Rick Haynes. On the side of Centerville, it's been a bit of a roller coaster tenure at his alma mater. He came on board in 2017. His first year, the Elks were fantastic. 10-2 that year. They ultimately lost to Pickerington North in the 2nd round. The Elks then bottomed out the following year at 2-8. Then Centerville rebounded a little bit, 4-6 in 2019, 4-4 in 2020, then 8-4 last year, and reaching the 2nd round of the playoffs once again before falling to Toledo Whitmer last season. So they're just simply on a pendulum swing, right? They had something that they kind of lost momentum suddenly in 18, and all of a sudden they've kind of moved back into a good spot where the program's in good hands, even though they lost a 4-year starter at quarterback. And
odds are Coach Ullery's just, he's making it his own. He's building his own program, and that takes time to develop that. And you might walk into a good season, but then you still got to build off of that. You still got to continue to build, and looks like right now, from what I can see here, he's got a fantastic squad and built a fantastic program for Centerville.
3rd and 10 as we resume action. Troutman back to pass with time. Now throws right. And it is incomplete. It slips off the hands of Nick Miller. And he had first down yardage. I think the closest man to him was Reggie Powers, and he had 5 yards on him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you make a move on Reggie there, and, you might be down the sidelines there. That's something. He'll see that tomorrow morning in films. They'll hopefully correct that. But, yeah, got to keep your eye on the ball until it's in your hands. Then you make that move upfield.
And we'll see another punt from Austin Searveld, who's back at his own 6-yard line. We'll see if Centerville gets after him. They won't, and they'll set up the return. Alejandrino will back off of it. Out towards the 35 as it rolls to the Elks sideline, just outside the 31-yard line. And again, if there's a point of pride tonight, it might be on special teams, and it might be on the unexpected punter, who's the great offensive lineman, punt of 49 yards.
Offensive lineman, we've seen him on defensive side of the ball too as well. So, a great utility player, and that's one of those guys that's just a yes guy. You ask him to do something on the field, he's going to go out there and do it. Shoot. I'm sure if you asked him to go out there and play quarterback, he'd probably go out there and do pretty darn good.
They'll mark the ball back to officially the 30. And it's now officially a 50-yard punt tonight by Searveld, who's done it all, offensively, defensively, and on special teams. They show blitz, Wakilongo up the middle, and a great job. Big push up front, and a nice finish out there by L.J. Robinson in the middle.
Yeah, L.J. Robinson, a good name we haven't really called a lot here tonight. He's been on the edge. I've also seen him somewhere in the middle. Looks like we got another cramp for Lakota East out there. But, he's one of those versatile players also at the defensive end position that can get in there. And what I like is that I just said he's been inside, outside. When you get a versatile player like that, Geoff, that's so key to have on the defensive side of the ball.
Marcus Osner, defensive lineman, a sophomore, is on his back out towards the 30-yard line. And we can talk a little bit more about what's going on, or at least some past history. And past history right now has really favored Centerville. The last time these two teams met, you have to go back to August 28th, 2010. Opening night in 2010, here at the Hawks Nest, the Elks thumped Lakota East 42-6. Centerville racked up 299 yards on 44 carries and 5 touchdowns in that game.
Wow.
The Hawks have lost 4 in a row in this series. Now, this dates back right before 2010. They had a home-and-home between 2007 and 2010, obviously between Centerville, warm and cheerful Centerville, by the way, and here. And Centerville has swept that series.
The one thing I'll say about Centerville, I coached there a long time ago. That is one of the best high school stadiums I think I've been in, and I would love to see it full. I was coaching freshmen at Moeller back at the time, but I'd love to see that stadium full. I'll tell you what, that was just an impressive facility they have there.
So while Osner's on the ground, let's recap the scoring. 3-0 in the first with 5:31 left to go. It was a 45-yard field goal by Jackson Corville, who put the Elks on the board, and that's been the go-ahead here in this one. The insurance runs, as it were, and I think I'm still in a baseball mindset, came here earlier this quarter with 4:50 left to play. Wakilongo, a 3-yard touchdown run off the left side to make it 9-0. The 2-point conversion failed. And you have to give a lot of credit to Jackson Myers, who was the left tackle on that play. He had a seal block right at the hash mark, and that sprung Wakilongo.
Yeah, when you're able to get that leverage, you're absolutely right. Great job by him to get leverage, get his basically back to the running back, and he's able to slip right by him. That's exactly what happened.
So Osner gets some help off the field, but he's walking off under his own power and headed to the bench, and we resume play. 3:11 and ticking here in the third. 9-0 Centerville. Wells out of the gun, motions the tight end back to the left, and they look left. They throw into space to the Wakilongo, and he's got a seam out across the 40, out to the 45-yard line. Not Wakilongo, it's Reggie Powers on a pickup of 15.
Well, great job there by Coach Olery. Yeah, I was wondering when they were going to do it, when they were going to get outside and get that speed going with their outside defender or outside offensive players, and you just saw it right there. Fantastic job, got the first down. Now, that momentum we were talking about is starting to kind of roll for the Elks now. And so this would be, a key series. Get it past the 50-yard line, get it down, get some more points on the board. That's the goal right now for Centerville.
Twins to each side for Centerville, and Wells back in the gun with Wakilongo on first down. 2:26 to go here in the third. They motion the tight end, and they'll go triplets to the right, and it's a run play to Wakilongo as he scrubs off a man, try to get away from the tackler, and a great job out there by 48. I believe that's Jake Reisner, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, he did a great job of seeing the play early on and filling that gap. That's key for linebackers. You can't go left, right. You got to be able to see the play and have great vision at that linebacker spot to be able to then make your decision and then attack the football.
2nd and 10, no gain for Wakilongo, and a nice tackle by Reisner. Quarterback rolls right, throws on the move, and it's complete for a first down. Receiver taking it up to the 40-yard line, another 15-yard pickup and a first down. Sean Cole, the senior at 6'2", 190 pounds. A pickup of 15, his first catch of the night.
Great job there by Drake Wells, rolling out, but he was patient. He didn't panic. He found his receiver. He had a receiver literally right open right in front of him, about 2 yards away, the tight end. But he was patient. He found the receiver. He found the hole in the defense, and boom, made a split-second decision to make the play. Great pickup for Centerville.
Twins to the near side for Centerville. They've got something going here with 1:12 left to go here in this third. Wakilongo on the delay, and he might have lost a yard. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. First man in was Austin Centerville.
And I'll tell you what, that's a name we've been calling just all night long. On special teams, offense, defense, it's all over the place.
I'm trying to remember if we brought up the name of Hannes Wagner a year ago. Do you remember?
I don't know.
So, do you know the story about Hannes Wagner?
I do not.
2nd and 10, we'll tell you here, as we melt the clock towards 33 seconds, and this may be a final play of the quarter. The throw left and complete left, and a good catch. Going up to go get it was Jamar Montgomery getting his first catch of the night. Minimal gains, but they move it for 6 yards, and it's 3rd and short.
Third down for the Elks.
And now 3 in a row, I believe, on completions for Wells, who's starting to feel a little bit more rhythm. Final play of this third, maybe 2 seconds, and they won't get the play off.
As time expires in the third quarter,
So we are through 3 here in Liberty Township. The Elks are pitching a shutout, 9-0 here on Chatterbox Plus. Twelve more minutes left to go here in this ballgame in Liberty Township tonight. Visiting Centerville owns a 9-0 lead. Along with Archer's uncle, Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Our videographer tonight is Mike Ackley. He's giving you the sights and sounds here in this one. The defense for both sides have showed up, and Wells trying to perpetuate a drive and really give insurance. And it's Wakilongo off the left side into that left side of the line. Had no push. May have gotten a yard.
Yeah, Cohen Reap there. Just absolutely laid the wood on Wells there. Wakilongo, excuse me. So that sets up a 4th down. Now, this is interesting. You're in this weird zone right now, Geoff. It's a little bit long for a field goal. Do you punt, pin them back? Or do you go for it? Right now, it looks like they're going to go for this.
Well, I think this kind of breaks the promise that Brent Ullery had, that right now this will be a 49-yard try. Instead, they will go on 4th and 3. Out of the gun, emptying out it is Wells. Looking middle, now flush from the pocket. He'll run for it and have the first down. Out to the 20, and he'll run out of bounds. That's a big play on 4th down and a pickup of 15 plus.
Fantastic job there. Jackson Myers, James Oakley, on the left side for Centerville. They created the lane. Yeah, they got some penetration in there, but great job by Wells to be able to see it and react off of it, and then boom, right there for the first down. Big play for Centerville.
So that's a pickup of 16 officially, and we're in the red zone. 1st and 10. Wakilongo in the backfield with Wells, and Wakilongo gets the ball up the middle. And nothing doing, and it's the other Centerville, Aiden, on the stop.
The brother's all over. I wonder if he can punt and kick too.
So back to what I was mentioning about Hannes Wagner. Before he became an all-world shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates back in the turn of the 20th century, so we're talking the 1800s into the 1900s, he had played every other position except catcher, and I think he had actually pitched. So he had done everything, and that's kind of the point that I'm making on Austin Centerville, who's really done everything tonight. 2nd and 9. And the play to the left, out to the 10-yard line, and it'll bring up 3rd and short. Again, Wakilongo for a short pickup.
I mean, that's right now the way Centerville is doing it with the momentum they have. You got to get the ball to your athletes. Wakilongo there, great carry. Wells has carried the ball very well for them. Got the big 4th down play there. So again, this is all that momentum we were talking about is falling Centerville's way right now.
3rd and 3 from the 9-yard line officially. They'll reset the play at the line. Get the call in from the sideline, and now Wells will tell his offensive line with 7 on the play clock, and now we've got to stop. We have an
like,
official stop.
Oh, they're switching somebody out. I think they switched out the left tackle there, Jackson Myers. For some reason, might have been equipment or something going on there.
3rd and 3. And the give, Wakilongo has the first down, pushing his way. Or does he have the first down? He's awfully close to where he needed to be.
Yeah, it's hard to say right now. Looks like they held him. They put up the 4th, so it looks like it's going to be 4th and maybe a credit card?
So
maybe
we
not.
saw the pushback, and we see 1st and goal at the 5.
5-yard line, 1st and goal.
And it is 1st and goal.
There we go.
So it was really close. It looked like on first look he had it, and then where it looked like he finished up the play that he was out of where he needed to be, but a fresh set of downs here, and it's 1st and goal. And they're going to put Wells in under center. And Wakilongo gets smacked for a loss.
Ball loose. Fumble.
Ball loose, and it's picked up by East, and they're coming the other way. Out to the 30, out to the 35-yard line, and a push. So the play didn't end when the tackle had happened. The ball came out, and another turnover in the red zone for Centerville.
I'll tell you what, that's 2 here tonight, and we'll talk about it, just a complete shift of momentum now. You had Centerville just basically almost running at will, and now that's a very big mistake there by Wakilongo and the Centerville and the Centerville offense. If you're Lakota East now, this is the time where you got to get it going offensively. This is it right here.
Centerville has had the ball at the 5-yard line or inside twice in this ballgame and have come away empty from points on a couple of those drives. Troutman throws over the middle, complete for a couple of yards.
Got a flag right there, right around the 30-yard line. You got a Centerville player down. And they got roughing the passer on Centerville. Wow, so this is going to give Lakota East a big, big break here.
So a 3-yard pickup to Roush, I believe it was. That's who got the catch. And then we'll have a tack on top of that. .9:41 left to go in this ballgame. It's still not over. It's a 2-possession ballgame, but again, we're one big play away from this being a game again.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. That's all it takes. But I mean, look at the field difference right now from where the play ended, right around the 35-yard line, to now we're going on the other side of the 50. So now they've just crossed over the 50 without having to really do much work. So again, I go back to what I just said for Coach Haynes and his offense. The time is now to strike. Right now, the momentum's on your side. This is where it's got to happen. Man, great night here tonight, Geoff. Cooled down nicely. Great football so far as well.
Ball's at the 44-yard line with 9:23 left to go in this game. Quarterback keeping now the pitch out. And Centerville up to the task. It looked like Bryce Taylor for a moment had a seam out on the right side, and Centerville's secondary came up and squashed it.
I think Bryce Taylor on that play was a little too deep in the backfield for that pitch. I mean, that pitch had to go back about 3 or 4 yards, and then, you're so far in the backfield then, yeah, they're going to give that Centerville defense time to swarm onto you. So I think that might have been a little bit of an alignment mistake. I'm sure they'll see that and make that adjustment. It looked like he was a little too deep for that pitch.
Second, and we'll call it 11. A passing play and a catch! And this is close to being 6. On the move, Bryce Taylor nearly broke away. 1st and 10 coming up on a pickup of 30.
Great job by Aiden Troutman. He was almost a shortstop there. He caught the ball and then boom, threw it right to his receiver, literally from his ear hole, didn't wind up or anything. Great job by Aiden Troutman to get the ball and find the receiver and get it to him quickly.
Longest pass completion for Troutman in his career. And they're in the red zone. Trying to get points on the board with 8:23 left to go.
Got the strength into the boundary.
Roll left by the quarterback. Troutman has some yards out to the boundary, out inside the 10, out to the 6, and a flag coming in at the end of the play. It may be a late hit on the Elks.
So if it's a late hit on the Elks, they're going to get an automatic first down. This could be big right here, Jeff.
Jean-Louis in on the stop and ostensibly the late hit. With 8:07 frozen on the clock. Troutman was awfully close to where he needed to be anyways for the first down. He picked up 9, nearly 10.
Well, this is it right here. You know, you got a fresh set of downs. You're inside the 5. Big man football time.
First and goal from the 3. Centerville loses it and now jumps on it. Lucky to get it back. Might have had his foot stepped on either by the center or the left guard.
Yeah, it's hard to say without having that camera angle right in there. You know, it's hard to say whether he just pulled out too quick or maybe you might be right, Jeff. He might have gotten pushed back into the quarterback almost and got stepped on.
Second and goal. Troutman under center, and now we have an official stop. With 7:36 left to go, and the Elks will take yet another timeout. I think that's their first one of this second half. Miami University Regionals is now accepting applications for spring and fall 2023 classes. With over 30 majors offered in person and online, you can design a schedule that fits your needs and start earning your Miami degree, conveniently located in Hamilton, Middletown, Westchester, and online. Learn more at miamiou.edu/regionals. And while we do have a moment, want to say congratulations to Brent Ullery and his wife Sahar on the arrival of their third child, Jet, just literally last week. Coach Ullery, by the way, has assured me that Jet will be a wide receiver, and it fit that name.
There you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good for them. Good for his family. Nothing. I mean, that's great to go into your season. You got a new son. Good momentum, good vibes all the way around for him and his family.
And you know, Brent was a wide receiver.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that.
He was a wide receiver at Centerville and over at The Ohio State University. Walked on, was on the squad for 5 years, was part of the 06 and 07 championship games.
Wow.
At least he was on the roster. Second and goal as we come out of the timeout. And they give Davis touchdown! On a 3-yard plunge off left tackle behind the Centerville boys, 9-6.
Oh, you're absolutely right. The Seaverfeld's right there. Bam! Right up the middle. We called it big boy football for a reason. Eric Davis was able to go right off their backside into the end zone. That's exactly what you wanted for Lakota East. You chewed up some time on the clock as well, and picture perfect. You score points off of those turnovers. I mean, right there. Boom.
And if you're Brent Ullery, you're probably kicking yourself at this point, just on a missed opportunity on the other side for one. And the kick is into the line and blocked.
Extra point is blocked, and it's for the fans.
Interesting.
9, Lakota Thunderhawks 6.
Very interesting there. Sequence of events there on the PAT. But effectively right now, you know, it is a 3-point ball game. So it's, you know, still very tight anybody's game here right now.
Couldn't tell if that was a 34 or 94 as the kicker for East. In any case, the extra point failed. And we have a brand new score here in Liberty Township, 9-6 Elks on the capper. It's a 6-play drive, a couple of penalties that helped out. 65 yards. It chewed up a minute and 43 seconds. The Davis 3-yard plunge off the left side accounts for the score, and we got a brand new score and a brand new game.
Yeah.
With 7:33 left to go.
So now if you're Centerville, you want to continue that momentum, but you got to also talk to your offense. Hey, guys, we cannot have these type of penalties because that is what has really shot them in the foot, these last couple drives. And then obviously you have the big turnover in the end zone when Wakilongo fumbled there. So, again, those type of mistakes, Centerville had that momentum going. Those mistakes will obviously stop it right in its tracks.
C. Reveld, end over end. Out to the 5, it stays in play, and it's picked up out at the 8-yard line. Return man back out towards the 15, and a short return, and near calamity averted by Centerville.
Wow, you're absolutely right there. I mean, that could have been really, really bad for the Elks. But hey, if you're Lakota East, you got them now inside the 20-yard line. Okay, you got to play great defense, which they've been playing all night long, really. Their defense has been, the really, really big bright spot for them all night. So you got to hold your water here. This is a big drive. If you can stop them here, get the ball back, you're going to have some time to milk some time off the clock then.
Centerville has let the Hawks back into this ball game. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. 7:28 on the clock, and Wells in the gun. Low handoff, and it's given to the running back who has some room and some good yardage off the left side. Wakilongo again for 5, maybe 6.
Looks like actually in the backfield he ran into his own player and then was able to keep the momentum going, his forward momentum going. I think that also just goes back to what I kind of said in the first half. He's always running with that ball in his shoulders forward. He's always going to have that momentum going forward. That's what you want to see at a great running back.
They'll give him forward progress to the 21, 2nd and 3. We mount the clock, under 7 minutes left to go. And the quarterback keeping it, nowhere to go. First one in, 34, Cohen Reap.
And I'll tell you else who was out there, Austin Sieverfeld was also in on that play there as well. Aiden Sieverfeld was in on that play. Again, you're just showing the versatility of those guys, especially the big guys that get low and get penetration in the backfield for Lakota East.
And a big 3rd down here if you're Lakota East on defense. 3rd and 4. Out of the gun is Wells. Deep drop with time. He launches. A home run. It is caught by the tight end at midfield. A 25-yard pickup for Bryce Cogill and a big 3rd down pickup on 3rd and 4.
Well, and that's what happens when Lakota East doesn't give pressure and they give him time in there. He's able to read the defense, sit back, find the hole, and found his tight end right there down the sideline or down the middle of the field, really, for a huge pickup for Centerville. Big momentum play there to keep the ball alive and get it into Lakota East territory.
They move the ball up to the 50-yard line, 1st and 10, right at the midfield stripe with 5:45 to go. Wakilongo up the gut. Nowhere to go, maybe a yard on the play. Right into the teeth of that defensive line. Sierraveld again on the stop.
Well,
Pick up a 1.
This right here is really where we're going to see, the stoutness of this Lakota East defense. You see, Sierrafeld swapping each other out there, Aiden and Austin, and so yeah, this is really where the money's going to be made for Lakota East.
The quarterback keeping off the fake. Has a couple of yards off that left side. And Reisner the first one in to stop him.
Lakota East has been getting a lot of penetration on Centerville here in this second half. I mean, you saw it there. They had him stopped and then were able to rally around the football to maintain it to a short, medium yard gain. So, if they continue that and continue to wear down that offensive line for Centerville, that's only going to add to the pressure, on Wells to make plays. And, he's a first-year quarterback, and you want to put that pressure on him.
4:44 left to go in this game in regulation. 3rd and 6. Wells out of the gun. He empties out the backfield, triples to the near side. He has time. Now he steps up in the pocket. He throws. He chucks it down the sideline. Incomplete. Out at the 18-yard line, intended for Jamar Montgomery. It was a little too tall for him on the sideline. There was another receiver in that area. Not sure who the quarterback was targeting.
Right.
In any case, it's 4th down.
Well, one thing there, he had an open lane. He had gotten by his defender. His defender actually kind of stopped his feet, which is not what you want to do in that type of situation. You want to maintain good leverage on your receiver that you're defending there. But again, great job again by this Lakota East defense. Force him into a 4th down. Uh-oh. Now some shifting problems there for Lakota East.
Orville back to kick. He punts it away. He angles it left, and it is out of bounds, out towards the 20-yard line. You can't really call it a pooch kick. I think he did angle it left just to make sure that there was no return. And we're waiting to see the official spot of the ball. Back, I think we see the back judge out towards the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like about that's where they're going to spot it there.
Well, they're going to move the ball up out towards the 21. The initial spot looked like it was further back, and now they're going to place it at the 22-yard line. So it's a 24-yard punt, nothing on the return, and 4:23 left to go here in regulation. And boy, do you need a score right now.
Well, this is exactly what Coach Haynes' offense is meant to do. You can burn some clock, but you got to get the ball downfield. You can't have penalties, and you cannot move backwards.
Ball's thrown to the near side, incomplete. Intended for Vogelman, the split end, to bring up 2nd down. Now, I don't know if you start thinking about the passing game now. If nothing else, if you remember that little hitch and go that we saw back in the last drive,
Yeah.
I think that was a great bit of way to split the defenders. But those passes to the outside, out to the sideline, haven't been in favor of East tonight.
They haven't been, and that's one thing that I think Aiden is going to get better at as the year goes on. That is sometimes a really tough throw for a young quarterback to make real quick to the sideline. So you'll see him develop that, but you're absolutely right, Geoff.
Twins to the near side. Vogelman back to pass, and he throws, and it's complete.
Whoa!
And the helmet came off.
Yeah.
No flag. Now we have a flag, as it looked like the defender pulled off the hat of the receiver.
Yeah, that was Bryce Taylor who had his helmet ripped off for Lakota East. Anytime you do that, you cannot go to the head whatsoever. Even it might not have been helmet to helmet, you have to avoid the upper head part of it.
So tack on the yardage, personal foul against Centerville. And this is the way things got started for East the last time around. They get the ball back, good field position, and then Centerville self-destructed on a couple of big penalties.
You're right. It's almost a spitting image of what we just saw. Good play. They get a big personal foul, move the ball down the field without having to do really any work on it. So that's exactly what this offense wants to do. That's what they're designed to do.
So they move the ball up to the 47 with 4:14 to go. 9-6 in favor of the Elks. They've led it from the start. And the quarterback keeping now pitching. And now some space and a 1st down out to the near side, and a really nice carry by Nick Miller.
Well, we talked about running those type of plays into the sideline, and look what it just did right there. It created that clear lane. Rick Haynes had his strength to the field. That's where Centerville was putting all their guys. They recognized it and said, we're going to run this pitch play into the boundary. You're going to plant and get upfield. Huge gain right there. Great play by Nick Miller, the running back.
Pick up a 13. So if nothing else, you need 3. Now, of course, given the way the kicking game has gone for both sides tonight, 6 is very preferable here.
Yes, 100%. We saw the missed extra point down there the last time Lakota East scored.
A wing T look, and couldn't tell if it was just a big push it looked like Davis had it initially. Troutman actually carried the ball for a few yards. A pickup of 3.
I think they just met at the mesh point where they both were, and then I think they basically both said, okay, we're gonna take the ball together and go down, and that's kind of what happened there. Not a bad play. You picked up 3.5 yards, kind of settle everything down. Now you kind of get back into your offense and figure it out.
3:35 to go here in this ball game. Troutman back to pass. It's complete to Vogelman. Close to a first down.
Complete to number 19, Andy Vogelman.
Starting to see that passing game come alive now for Lakota East. One thing we've been waiting on, or honestly, one thing we were wondering, hey, are we going to see that here tonight? And now all of a sudden, you're starting to see those passes come alive into the sideline, into the boundary that weren't there in the first half or even just the last drive.
3rd and 1, run or pass?
I'm going to run it here. Get the first down, give me a new, fresh set of downs. It's the old Woody Hayes adage. There's 3 things that can happen on a pass, and 2 of them are bad.
Vogelman, the lone wide receiver to the top of your screen. And the keeper by Troutman as he gets a nice big push right in front of him. Harry Clute, his center, along with Aiden Searveld, the left guard.
Here's another baseball term. We call that playing small ball right there. Just get that first down. There's no reason to go downfield. There's really no reason to pass the ball, especially when you got the Severfelds there. You got a big push right there. You got a big bulldozer run right behind it, and that's what they did.
2:42 and counting in this ball game. If you're the Elks, you got to be worried a little bit because you got to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Troutman, the deep drop, he throws, and now he'll keep it. He'll run for it, gain some yards. A nice pickup on first down, out towards the 25-yard line.
That was unbelievable by Aiden Troutman. He had that ball so far forward and was able to bring it back in. We both thought he threw the ball. I mean, it was literally out there. For him to bring that back in, wow, that's great awareness by Aiden Troutman. He's been getting better and better as this game goes on.
A 4-yard pickup. As we melt the clock to under 2 minutes left to go. Pitch back, and the ball is out. Centerville may have it.
Fumble on the play.
They do have it. The ball in and out of the hands of the running back, and up to clean it up, Matthew Karpinski. And that might be your play of the game.
Whew, I'll tell you what, that was, they tried to do the same thing where they had the big play there with Miller running into the boundary. They were trying to do that same thing. And just missed the mesh point there, fumbled the ball, and that might be it. I mean, there's still time left to play here. Time to play some more small ball if you're Centerville and really milk this clock down. Lakota East with 2 timeouts left, so there might be an opportunity for them to get the ball back. It all depends on what they can do defensively here.
Both teams with 2 timeouts. So if nothing else, you would imagine run plays and quick timeouts by East here, and then and third down becomes their play of the game. And Wakilongo into the line, and he is dragged down up front by Ethan Evans.
It looks like Lakota East taking their second timeout, so they'll be down to 1.
So timeout with 1:47 left to go. Thunderhawks are down to 1 timeout here in this ball game.
One thing I'm seeing, they got to keep their energy up for Lakota East. You got to have a short memory there. You're going to get the ball back here with probably decent field position. You got to be able to just have a short memory, put that fumble back. It happened years ago. Let's not even worry about it. Let's focus on the next play.
1:47 left to go, 9-6. So if this was a baseball game, a lot of bats flying. Tonight it's football, defensive struggle.
Yeah, defensive struggle. You're 100% right there.
Next week, we can't wait to come back to the Hawks' Nest. The Battle of Lakota, East hosting West.
Gonna be a good one.
Funny to see that game so early in the season, but there are a couple reasons. Well, actually, there's one reason that I can think of and thinking about why that might be. And Wells back to pass, looking, and he is dropped back at the 20-yard line.
Interesting. Wow. That kind of changes things a little bit now. You got him dropped back there. I'm guessing.
L.J. Robinson, they called Reep's name, but I believe that was Robinson who got the sack. And yet another timeout with 1:40 left to go, 3rd and 18. And if nothing else, that sack, that tackle for a loss allows Lakota East to play back and not stress out, and they don't have to fall for a quick hitter or for a little screen pass.
Right, exactly. So, this now changes, you're right, Geoff, changes that dynamic a little bit. You now have forced them back into a really 3rd and long situation. If you're Centerville, okay, hey, am I going to throw the ball down the field? Well, it really hasn't worked for us yet on this drive. We've already thrown a couple interceptions, 2 interceptions in this game. I mean, do you just bite it and say, hey, let's punt and let the defense win the game for you? That is a serious thought that has to be going through Coach O'Leary's mind right now. What do I want to do in this situation? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens right here. This could be big right here, Geoff.
Right now, this is a critical play. I don't think this is a play of the game, but a critical play on 3rd and 18 out of the 21-yard line. Wells out of the gun. And the run play off the left side to Wakilongo, who really just wants to melt some clock here. Stayed in bounds with 1:32 frozen on the clock.
I'm trying to see.
So Reisner on the tackle.
There it is. So they still had a timeout left up on the board for Lakota East.
And now they repositioned the ball, and now they've moved the clock again. So
yeah.
So right now you got to imagine that you bring out the punt unit. The ball's at the 27-yard line officially. And boy, it's a long way to 3. It's a longer way to 6. Mm-hmm. But you've got right now 70 seconds and melting to work with.
Yep, and Centerville's going to take their time. I'd imagine, they're going to take a timeout here, kind of get everything reset. Make sure they got what they know what they want to do here, because if you're Centerville, you got a great kicker, you got a good punter. One thing you got to really hone on you guys is you got to cover now. Okay, you got to cover the football down the field, and that's I'm sure what they're walking through right now.
So what you're really praying for right now is an outstanding return on a punt.
Yeah.
Now, while it wasn't a punt a year ago, you think back to week 3 when it was the kickoff to start the second half against Middletown. And Caleb Van Hooser returned it 90 yards to the house in the same direction, to the south end zone to which they have to go. They won't need nearly that much, but right now they're behind in this game by 3 points. 3 to tie, 6 to win. That's what they're thinking right now.
Well, they don't need that much, but they need that type of play. They need that caliber of play. You got to get a return here. You can't let the ball go behind you. You got to keep the ball in play center field, keep the ball in front of you, which is exactly what his coach is saying. Oh, he's moving him up.
What
Interesting.
has been critical, by the way, as they move the clock back to 1:02. It's officially when the timeout was called. Missed conversions on both sides have been critical in this ball game. Centerville elected to go for 2, missed on that, and yet a blocked point after attempt on the lone touchdown after the Davis touchdown. And right now, because of that, we have a 3-point game where the variance could be easily 4, and a touchdown wins it. They come after the punter, and now here's Vogelman out of the 45, angles right, a couple of yards, no flag as far as I can tell, and 52 yards
there's going to be a flag
the other way. And now we do have a flag, and it is on East, running into the kicker.
Yeah, that was Austin Sieverfeld who ran straight into the kicker, and that's hard for a big guy like that. You always want to teach your guys, hey, when you're going in, you want to pick a side of the kicker. It's really hard for somebody that big. He got in there, got great pressure. I thought it might have been blocked for a half a second there, but just ran into the kicker, and that's going to be a personal foul penalty now.
And that's a tough way to end things tonight.
Yeah. That really is. That's tough. And there's positives, there's negatives that you can take from this game. We'll talk about it, I'm sure, in the post game as well. But that's tough.
So I mentioned running into the kicker. It's roughing the kicker.
Yeah.
1st and 10. They now move the ball up to the 42-yard line, and now Wells can just take a knee, and he'll have one more to go. Centerville will improve to 1-0 to start the year on the strength of a 9-6 win. Hard fought. The defense on both sides were spectacular tonight. As we await here, 24 on the play clock, and just waiting to see Wells duck in under center and take one more knee, and we'll go home. 14 on the play clock, and that's it.
Yep.
Centerville improves to 1-0 on this 2022 campaign. 9-6 winners tonight over Lakota East.
You know, Jeff, I'll say this. You know, you have good things, you have bad things on both sides of for both teams. For Lakota East, you had an amazing defensive night, especially on the goal line. I mean, 2 amazing goal line stands that were absolutely fantastic and really, truly unbelievable. So you have that to build off of. You did see some momentum by Lakota East early on. I was actually impressed with Aiden Troutman there down the stretch. I thought he actually kind of grew into himself a little bit. For Centerville, same thing. You had turnovers. You had really untimely penalties, and I think that's one of the big things that Coach Ullery is going to harp on is, guys, we can't commit penalties in those critical situations. So, again, week 1, you know, you have good, you have bad. Both these teams will get in the film room tomorrow, clean it up, and off to week 2. Amazing, right?
Amazing.
Blink of an eye.
And now we're officially back in routine.
Yes, there we go.
You know, it's like it's funny. We've been waiting for this day since towards the end of November. In fact, I believe it was right before Thanksgiving, the last time you and I saw each other. And then now it's mid-August, and it's like, hey, we'll see each other again next week.
Right.
Back in routine on a weekly basis.
Blink of an eye.
Let's go ahead and run down the scoring here in this ball game. Centerville got on the board first with 5:31 left to go in the first period. On the aftermath of a 7-play drive from the 36-yard line, it choked up about 2 minutes and 51 seconds off the clock. Jackson Corville from 45 yards out made it 3-0. The next score turned out to be the all-important big score, and it may end up being your play of the game. We'll see. So with 4:50 left to go in the third, here in the second half, it was on the heels of a fumble recovery. 4 plays later on 4th down, Wakilongo got a great block off the left side by Jackson Myers to make it 9-0. The 2-point conversion failed, and that's our score there. The only score of the night came from Lakota East in the 4th. A Davis 3-yard touchdown run to cap off a 6-play drive that went 65 yards. Got helped by a turnover and 2 critical penalties. That thing went a minute and 43 off the clock. The point after was blocked, 9-6, and that turned out to be your final tonight. Time now for our play of the game. And Kevin,
you said it. I mean, it was that touchdown play. And, I mean, the blocking you saw, and I love how you brought that up by Jackson Myers because, you know, that is such a hard thing to do, especially on the goal line when you have 10 guys literally sitting in the box. For him to gain that type of leverage with his left side of his body to allow Wakilongo to go right off his backside and walk into the end zone.
I mean, he came wide open.
Yeah, literally wide open. That is a testament to those 2 offensive linemen there on the left side. So, Jeff, that is my play of the game.
And that's powered by Headlines Sportswear. And you'll see that out on Twitter. Yes, you and I are representing here tonight as well. So, final thoughts on this one, partner, as we close up week 1.
You know, we've talked about it. Week 1, you know, in the back. You know, I thought it was a competitive game, especially on the defensive side. You know, offense always takes some time to gain that momentum moving forward. So, I'm anxious to see Lakota East next week, what they can do against their arch rival, Lakota West. You know, hey, it's kind of, you hinted on it, kind of different to have a rivalry game this early on in the season. But, hey, here we go, man.
And again, that game will be right here on Chatterbox Live, 7 o'clock the kickoff. And it'll be the middle game of 3 here at the Hawks Nest for the Thunderhawks as they start off the season here at home. They go on the road for the first time at Middletown in week 4 next month. Centerville heads home victorious in this one. They'll face Dublin Coughlin for their home opener in warm and cheerful Centerville next Friday. Again, the final here in this one. 9-6. Centerville goes away the winner in a defensive struggle. This game took 2 hours and 26 minutes to complete. Centerville improves to 1-0. Lakota East 0-1 here in the early season. Our thanks to our videographer tonight, Mike Ackley. We are so glad to be back here in the booth here for football season.
Absolutely.
For my partner, Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Good night from Liberty Township.